Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, John and Papa Nez in the building. Love to see it. Man, forgive me if you can hear it in my voice. I'm excited today. This is a great day for sports. I mean, we got 15 games of hoops, we got 15 games of MLB, and then we got 5 games of puck. I'm not going to forget about my puck, guys. 5 games of puck with some playoff implications there, and you get to draft all of it while watching the greatest golf tournament on planet Earth. So this is a fun day, really fun day to be on the platform for drafting the dailies and sweating your albatrosses, all that good stuff there, Nez.
Great time of year, like you said, man. 15 games of NBA and MLB each is wild. And man, there's so much going on with the NBA today. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be a wild one.
I mean, it's gonna test our wits here with silly season. I just completed a draft and I took 4 players that all had ADPs north of 33.5. So it is, it's gonna be a crazy slate here today, just in general. I was saying to you, I was a little. I think on any other day in the history of planet Earth, Nez, I would have been totally fine with 8 and 7 and no overlap in the games today. But just given how impactful those Western Conference games are for standings, and the fact that on the first slate, we're going to have like 4 games that basically just are full gnaw waves and just don't matter at all in terms of context of standings, I kind of really wish this was a 15-gamer. And then we had both Joker and Giannis on it. As crazy as that sounds for NBA, just given the context of silly season, that's kind of where I was at.
Yeah, I think that, the rare case where 15 games would have probably been ideal. The only time that it probably would have been optimal, but it is what it is. I mean, I've never seen so many games with 15 plus totals. I mean,
right, or spreads.
Wild. Yeah, right.
Yeah. That being said, it's going to set up really nicely for a dad slate there. So if you guys are sick enough to be playing silly season dad drafting on a Friday night, it's going to be really fun. These are true ball knower slates, as we proved multiple times now with Justin getting home on one of them, and many members of the community having so much success recently. Like, these are the ones where it's like, ADP is going to be the most inefficient we've ever seen, basically.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, I mean, all the players with 30 plus ADPs being draft worthy is I think it's going to be beneficial for the grinders, like you said, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to start with last night. I'm seeing the great Sambino in the chat here. Sambino took down the PGA tournament for 5K yesterday, so mad respect there. That's great to see. I was going to start with the hoop stuff, Nez, and then as I was bringing it up, you noticed a little friend of the show here in 12th place.
No way. You're kidding.
Big Gil, baby. Big Gil in 12th place. You love to see it.
Dude, his presence in the draft streets just like cracks me up every time. I can't get over the fact that he's in here like drafting with us. Mm-hmm. And the fact that 28 points from Jalen Brunson gets you in 12th place lets you know how crazy last night was.
Yeah, very much so. Yesterday's show aged pretty well. I'm not going to lie. I talked about why Kevin Porter Jr. was a better play than Bobby Portis, even if, Giannis ended up playing. I didn't have Giannis on my bingo card of playing, so I didn't pair them together. But then the Memphis versus T-Wolf stuff aged so well, and that was something that I was really heavy on and really liked Randall and that sort of deal. So man, I felt like I should have been closer last night, but the problem being I had 0% Giannis. I think I added 2 shares of Giannis later in the day, kind of thing, and you ended up needing Giannis plus Hallie, etc. So shout out to Red Guy Donkey 10 here, who ends up doing it with the Trae Young plus Hallie, and then getting on Minnesota stuff. Precious Achua man, hat tip to Unabated. Precious Achua was projecting so well. He was one of my favorite clicks, one of my highest owned players there. And then Kevin Porter Jr. was the guy you needed in the 4th/5th round there.
Yeah, I didn't have any Precious. I was like, I didn't play a ton of entries yesterday. I was basically just hammering uh non Giannis bucks. So I had a ton of Kuzma, which wasn't good. That was not good.
Dude, he played pretty well outside of the first quarter. I watched a little bit of that game. Kuzma started shooting the 3 and stuff like that. Like he didn't play any of the 4th and basically only played half of the 3rd. But that second quarter and half of the 3rd stretch there, like 17 points, couple steals. Like I thought he played much better than like the box score indicated and how he's been playing in real life recently.
Yeah, yeah, not bad for real life. Could be interesting for a playoff run, but as far as turning drafts into dollars, not good. Not good to hinge your entire night on essentially on Kyle Kuzma. So yeah, not good.
Famous last words. Hinging your night on Kyle Kuzma. Oh man, good shit there. Yeah, shout out to the Red Donkey here. Beautifully well constructed lineup there. Yeah, good stuff there. Lit Up was up there as well. Red Donkey had 2 in the top 5. Vin Deep, who took down the baseball slate the other night, in the top 5 as well. Car Park, just evergreen, 2 top 10s. This guy's fucking unstoppable. Sam Olson, the GOAT, is up here. Esmeralda, one of the best players on the site, up here as well. And then Buster Boys, Gill, and JT McKenzie. I mean, it was all Dog Bowl guys holding hands last night. So mad respect to the sickos still out here grinding the Thursday night hoop slate. One to hit on MLB real quick there as well. Nez, Thursday main slate 3-bagger. You needed to be jamming Angels because the fly ball problem that Zach Littell has right now and the wind blowing out there at 80 degrees, hitter's paradise. So 3 Angels and then 2 one-offs here. If it's a Stephen Kwan slate, your boy's never getting home. But Brenton Doyle continues to rake from that leadoff spot, and then a 3-man Angels stack where you didn't even need Taylor Ward's 2 home run performance in here. Got home with Paris with 2 fantasy points in the lineup there, and then going to Colorado for pitching. So good contrarian path idea from JWG78 here.
Yeah, one-off Kwan, man, huh?
Yeah,
bold play.
Indeed. Yeah.
How about it? I'm so pissed that the Kyron Paris slappies, even when he doesn't get home, they get home.
Dude, I don't know. Did you see the thing I retweeted the other night about his swing change and stuff?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, apparently that guy, commented on it a little bit on their podcast there. And apparently that guy's a pretty controversial figure, the hitting coach that made that video and that does this. He's very combative and fights in discords about his process versus other people's. But apparently it works really well for certain guys. But yeah, he is a low power guy and low hit tool guy who didn't have very much success in the minors, who's all of a sudden found success at the big league level with a big swing change.
Yeah. I'm so hesitant to like think things are like for real, but that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like here's a tangible thing that he changed. Here's the early results. Pretty cool. If it manages to stick, man, the Angels are. I mean, that if he's, let's be conservative here. Let's say rest of the season he's like a plus, a 110 WRC plus guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a piece that they didn't know that they were going to have.
Right.
And then now the Angels lineup becomes like really, really good. Really, really good. It's already good. But now it's like, oh shit, like here's a guy that we didn't think was going to do anything, and now he's a legit contributor. We got to make some trades for pitching. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, they're sneaky in a postseason spot right now, so we'll see if they can maintain that. It's so early, as you alluded to. The one thing that comes to mind with like these early season like streaks and stuff like that, like I think he's got like 5 homers and 4 steals or something now. So as the chat's alluding to, shout out to Ben here. He's saying Roto God, like that sort of thing. Like if he could find his way to 2020, like he reminds me a lot of like comps that I've heard, like the Reese Hines last year, who was the best player in the world out of nowhere for 2 weeks. Like Tyler Fitzgerald last year, best player on planet Earth for 3 weeks. Kyle Lewis a couple years back, best player on planet Earth for a month and a bit. And then these guys are just not even in our lives anymore. So very interesting. Peak baseball, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Timmy Carr right here. That's the way baseball go, Ron Washington. It's like the perfect way to sum it up. Absolute perfect way to sum it up. All right, Nez. Actually, there was one more I wanted to hit on I gave the golf shout out. I gave the other shout outs there. Who was it in the chat who brought it up? Travioli brought it up. Man, AMAC was dialed on these golf takes for the paywall show. Shout out to AMAC again there. Had a first round leader at 8,000 to 1 for Justin Rose for a lot of people. There.
Whoa.
Yeah, so Andrew got that one home. Trav got it home. There's a couple other people that I saw screenshots of getting that home. And that was like one of his big like stamp of approval. And then some of the other guys that he was about, got him home as well. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
All our golf guests are pretty sharp, man. Maybe we need to start doing a little bit more of that, because we get people that are just dying to give us their sick alpha. There's some real sick pups in the streets, man.
Yeah, man, we might have to become links bros out here. I mean, Pat Mayo might have that corner of the market cornered there, but good Canadian kid might not want to, share some of that knowledge with us as well. Share a little bit of that
retail. Deep faking some thumbnails too.
Yeah, his thumbnails are great. Such a good bit.
They're nuts.
All right, dude. Let's push onward here. Let's talk about today's slates. I think today is going to be a little more laissez-faire, perhaps there, just because there's going to be a lot less to talk about in terms of like, we're not going to know. We're going to speculate as best we possibly can. We have some of the injury reports, but like Atlanta still hasn't submitted. Who else still hasn't submitted? Pelicans still haven't submitted, like that sort of deal. So for this first 8-game slate here that ends with Toronto and Dallas, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams on the back-to-back. We have 10 on the day in general there, Nez. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of moving pieces here. And to make things a little bit worse for wear, one of the teams that I thought were going to be going maybe not all out, but at least somewhat all out because of the seeding implications were the Bulls. They're almost completely locked into the 9 seed, but there is a little push-pull with Hawks and Bulls that, like, if Hawks lose out and Bulls win out, that they could then flip. It's a very low percentage chance, but I thought the Bulls would be playing, pretty hard against Washington tonight, even though they were, 15 or 16-point favorites in this one. But now we got the Giddy Q tag coming off the triple-double. So even the top end of draft boards, there's going to be some funny business potentially here. So yeah, just macro thoughts in general on this whole landscape right now.
Oh man. Pacers Magic is gonna be a movie. I mean the whole that's where the slate is won. I'll say it right now. Magic and Pacers is where we really need to just be deep diving and extracting value from, because those are two teams that are taking a night off.
Yeah, absolutely. So both teams have kind of waved the white flag in that one and ruled out like 5 guys each. We'll get to it in the game by game there, but basically nobody else has ADPs like Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell, Cole Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, all guys, that have some fantasy ceiling as well. If we get a little bit of a pace up environment, because it is the Pacers, if we get that situation, later tonight, because that game effectively is meaningless now after last night. There is a one little sliver of Knicks lose out, Pacers win out, and then they flip in the 3-4. But neither team looks like they're playing for that outcome or playing for that, because it's literally like a 2% chance or something I was reading this morning. So yeah, Yeah, maybe that's like a good, macro reminder to reset before we go game by game here, Nez, of like just implications. And we can do, um, both because people will be playing the dad slate as well. So we can kind of just tell everyone because there's 15 games today. Tomorrow is off. And then Sunday, there's 15 games again there. So it's a very, very weird setup here for the tail end of the year. But effectively, Nez, Eastern Conference, the Pacers could conceivably flip the Knicks, but it's like less than a 3 or 4% chance that that could occur there. So effectively, the top four are locked in place there. The head to head between the Bucks and the Pistons would require the Pistons to beat the Bucks head to head tonight, and then the Bucks to lose on Sunday and the Pistons to then win, and those two would flip. So there is a potential chance of the 5 and the 6 flipping there. So definitely implications for both of them to play, at least hard versus one another this evening, because if the Bucks take care of business tonight, they can gnaw wave Sunday and rest everyone. So that's there. The Magic have waved the white flag tonight, as you alluded to, because they are 100% locked into the 7 seed. They are going to host the Hawks or the Bulls. That's what they're going to host. And there's a non-zero chance that the Heat could jump all the way up with some goofy ass tiebreakers, but it would literally be the Hawks lose out, Bulls lose out, Heat win out, and win the tiebreaker for this to kind of happen. The most likely outcome is what we see in front of us right now. We're talking fractions of percentage, but Spoelstra has said he is going to play the Heat starters as normal this evening. He has said that despite the spread and despite the fact that the Pelicans might only have 8 bodies again. That's the Eastern Conference there, Nez. Anything else to add on the Eastern Conference?
No. I mean, you did a very good job of breaking that down. I got nothing on that.
Okay, Western Conference is where shit gets a little crazier because you effectively have. Oh, I guess I should scroll down here. You have the Lakers have now clinched that they will not be in the playoff tournament or the play-in bracket tournament there because the Wolves beat the Grizz last night. Things really opened up, and the fact that the Warriors lost to the Spurs the other night, things have really opened up here. So this is all basically applicable for the dad slate later, but effectively the Lakers, if they win one of the 2 last games, they have locked the 3 now. So they're like 90+% to be in the 3. In terms of the Nuggets could fall, or like in terms of like let's think about it through the lens of like the 4 seed. The T-Wolves actually have a better chance than the Grizz, the Warriors, the Clippers of ending up as the 4 by winning out now after winning last night. So the T-Wolves have like a lot to play for in the biggest way, directly applicable for the dad slate and them being on a back-to-back this evening there. There's 100 different ways that 8 through 5 could break based on that. The most likely outcomes right now are just kind of flip a coin between everyone except for the Grizz are most likely at the bottom and the Clippers are most likely at the top of that kind of like pendulum there. And then the Kings and the Mavs are effectively locked. They could flip one another, but it doesn't matter. It would just flip who is hosting the game. And for that to happen, the Mavs have to win out, Kings lose out, and then that's like a 3% chance of flipping. So the crazy shit and the biggest takeaway from this is Lakers could soft punt tonight against the Rockets and still be fine, but they'd be way better off just winning tonight and resting Sunday, and the Rockets could rest versus them. And then everybody else in this middle tier is going to be trying as hard as they possibly can tonight, and it's almost all verse one another. right? So the T-Wolves have the Nets, which gives them that like kind of like boost in terms of percentage of finishing like up higher in like the 4 or whatever. But Memphis plays Denver, so they're going to go real hard at one another. And then the Clippers play the Kings, who are both going to be playing hard versus one another, although the Kings could soft rest because of they're kind of locked in at 9.
Man, this is crazy.
It is crazy.
This is absolutely crazy. Grizzlies Nuggets is going to be so awesome, though. Man, that's going to be fun.
I really wish it was on the main slate. And there's a non-zero chance it doesn't end up on the dad slate either, because they need that extra hour of time to draft it.
Is it not?
Well, I don't know. Is the dad already? Dad's already up. Okay, dad's already up. Then it'll be on. Okay, if the dad's already up, it'll be on it. It'll be on it.
Yeah, it's a 30K slate. It's the first game.
Good. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. I was a little worried that we'd lose those 2 6:00 games, 6:00 my time, 9:00 Eastern, because of that. But I didn't realize that the dad's already up. Okay, good. It is on the dad. All right, good. Okay, so that's the entire landscape there. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm like thinking, just, kind of just jumping right into the main slate a little bit here.
Yeah.
Mavericks, Raptors, like, are you going to have any Anthony Davis at this ADP?
It's scary, man. It's scary for 2 reasons. It's scary because, well, I guess it's scary for 3. It's scary because of his health in the past. It's scary because they have depth at the 5 that is available to rotate now that, they're getting healthier there. It's scary because it doesn't actually really matter. And it's scary because the Raptors are probably going to just do their normal thing where Scotty plays 18 minutes and they both play it this kind of same way back and forth. That being said, I think it might be fan appreciation last night of the regular season for them there. Actually, we went to fan appreciation last regular season game of the year together last year there.
Was that your bachelor party?
Yeah, that's when you linked up with us and we got those Mav fans for life t-shirts and Luka didn't play.
We had probably like absurd amounts of pick'ems on Jaden Hardy, I'm sure, and
yeah, we were doing. They played Detroit that night, and we were doing all like the auxiliary Detroit guys, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Holy shit! I can't believe that's been a year. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing. Ricky saying AD might go 30 and 15 against Mobo. It was 6-2. Good joke. In 18 minutes there. Justin saying, I don't feel confident about any of the top 7 ADPs playing close to full minutes. I can get on board with that in a big way. Just checking the schedule here. It is that final home game for them. So they could conceivably be like, okay, this is AD's tune-up game prior to the postseason. And then we sit the Sunday day game in Memphis. Like, don't even make the trip kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it.
This is pretty funny from Timmy Carr. Luka appreciation night and then fan appreciation night back to back. So good. Man. Oh, good. Oh, GM to the GOAT rolling through car park there. We were looking at you on the leaderboard again last night, big dog. Holy.
Shocker.
Yeah. So this is messy, man. It's so messy. But to reiterate what we're saying with what Justin's saying here with the top 7 here, scared about full minutes, is do the Bucks even have to play full? Because they only have to win one of the 2 games. They'd prefer to win the head-to-head tonight, but because they won last night, they only have to win one of the 2 remaining games here to clinch 5 instead of 6, right? So they basically said Brook Lopez and Giannis sit the 4th last night, and they left like halfway through the 3rd kind of thing.
Yep.
Giddy's got the Q tag. They're 1,000,000 point favorites. Can they just beat the shit out of the quad A Wizards without Giddy this evening? Is kind of like the thought process. Cade is the same thing with the Giannis thing. AD conversation we just had. Trey played a lot last night, and they're 16-point favorites here. He did not play the fourth at all, so they capped it at 31, but he still played 31 last night there. Tatum, they're going to be without everybody, but so are the Hornets, with the exception of Mark Dubb. So do they really need to run Tatum full, or can they do exactly what they did with JB and whatnot the other night? And then we get into, do the Knicks even have to play these guys? And then we get into the Vooch conversation, which is kind of similar to the Giddy conversation there. And then you get down to, Bam and Hero, as at least Spoelstra said they were going to play normal.
Yeah, I don't understand why Cat would play unless I'm missing something.
I agree with you.
Vooch, I think Vooch looks great, man. I don't know. Like, I think if Giddy doesn't play, then like Vooch could ball out in 28 minutes for sure. And like, I don't think it necessarily matters so much about like what really matters is the picks you make after these rounds. I think it's okay taking Vooch, and just because he feels safe, like maybe the ceiling isn't really there. He does feel really safe against the Wizards, assuming Giddy doesn't play, which Giddy's played through Q tags before. It just seems very ominous and very much silly to have him play tonight, given the fact that he's been dealing with these injuries.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm in lockstep with you there. Vooch does feel a little bit safer via that narrative.
And Justin here making a comment, and I'm looking at the spread of 20 points of Celtics versus the Hornets. How come? What's going on there? Why are they going balls to the fucking wall against Charlotte? Am I missing something there from Boston's side?
They're completely locked into the 2 seed. Nothing can change.
So strange. I mean, maybe the Hornets. I mean, I know that Celtics like bench is better than what the Hornets are putting out on the court because they have no choice. But like,
right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't get that one. I guess the thought process is like, I think Emwald's saying this in the chat, like dress rehearsal style, where they like, keep your team in a rhythm. You go out there, you do the dress rehearsal. This is our starting unit. This is our last game of the season. We all get ready. We all go out. We all start together. We play 12 minutes each. We play 14 minutes each. We're up by 20. And then we turn it over to, Pritchard and whoever else. I mean, even Pritchard, probably a bridge too far for me. I'd be wanting to manage Pritchard's minutes tonight too.
Yeah, Joe Mazzulla really wants to see who's got the killer instinct. Who can look at a wounded animal in the eyes and do what needs to be done. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
How's that for a comp?
Blake coming through and saying a shout out to Brett Boy. I gave it behind the paywall yesterday, so thanks for doxing yourself for not tuning in at all yesterday. I started the show with it yesterday, Blake, but it is a good reset here that we do have to welcome our very own Brett Boy to the inside, to the Underdog family. Mad respect. Congratulations on obtaining that job. My friend, the great Sambino, telling us, Landeskog has to scroll the F down in the Zamboni streets. Sorry, John, I have a real job. What are you trying to say about my job, buddy? Oh, man. Justin said, I'm sure Tatum's only playing for conditioning, but still feels risky to even play him if I was the coach. I fully agree, man. I fully agree there. Okay, I'm going to refresh and get the most recent injury report here, Nez, and then we can do a game-by-game kind of thing. We can do some of the scrolls and that sort of thing. I do think the game-by-game is really important today just because we can actually go through, available bodies and what's actually taking place here. But I will ask you, is there anything else you wanted to say that you were noticing that, potentially just overarching on this slate?
Like, I think the Cleveland guys are interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm just like curious, like how they're going to play this. probably limited minutes for Garland for that big three that
Yep.
doesn't have out tags there. Do you think Okoro plays a lot? I'm really curious how they would handle this. Is it Okoro and Craig Porter Jr. to me kind of I feel like names that I would just want to do.
I think there is only 2 playable pieces on this team, and they are Craig Porter Jr. and Dean Wade.
Okay.
That's how I would be treating it. There was a comment yesterday that they wanted to see what Dean Wade looks like from a starting capacity so that if anything happened to one of the bigs in the postseason, that then Dean Wade, we would know how he would kind of fill, that sort of thing. So there was, that was during the broadcast that they were talking about that. So they did say that they had intentions of playing Dean Wade kind of like extended minutes in the last 2 games here. Javonte Green, just a dude from a rates perspective, I don't want. Okoro, same thing, and probably means more to their team and like the actual health of their team going forward. And then, Ty Jerome's already out and Hunter's already out, so we can't even get there. I think it makes Craig Porter Jr. quite safe off the bench. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, he's gonna go nuts tonight, is he not? I mean, he can shoot that thing a little bit.
Yes, he can. So Craig Porter Jr. is a really fun scroll this evening. I would be in full lockstep with you there.
Okay.
Has 27 minutes last night, 16 points, 3 and 3. I mean, I hope we get a little bit north of that here in a better game environment, that sort of deal. But I mean, you might not be able to get a better game environment than yesterday for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is just insane.
I love it so fucking much.
I do too.
I love these dust ball names that we get to click on. It got me so excited to click all those Pelican guys yesterday, and everybody's sweating. Oh no, Giannis is gonna get taken out in the 3rd. My Giannis teams are dead, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, oh baby, here we go with like our Robinson Earl teams. Now it's time to cook here.
Yeah. I mean, him and Reeves are back on the menu tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Brooks as well. Good UW boy. All right, Nez, let's do it. Hawks and 76ers on the first one here. We talked about the implications for the Hawks. Every time I say the implications, I see Dennis Reynolds in my mind just going, the implications, every time. So I'm going to stop saying the implications. But this is 241, man. That's the highest total on our slate or on the main slate. That's a 10.5 by way of the Hawks. The Hawks did submit in the last 30 minutes here, all the usual out tags that you would expect, but then the Trey probable with the Achilles. So expecting the Hawks to just run it back exactly as they were last night, which, gives me confidence in Trey just in general here. This spread of 10.5 kind of looks to me that you'd anticipate the 76ers having Quentin Grimes this evening. That's what that 10 would tell me, that I think they would have to have at least one of Justin Edwards and Grimes played through the Q tag last time. Justin Edwards has not with this rib contusion. So yeah, on the other side there, the Grimes one, as I alluded to, the Justin Edwards, all the out tags on all the usual suspects there. And then Alex Reese with a Q tag. I will put it on everybody's radar that they're managing the contract of Jeff Doughton. He will play one of the last 2 games here. I don't know which it'll be, but my goodness, did he fill it up in a big way last time out. If he draws into the starting lineup, he's my favorite scroll in this game. That being said, it can't be counted on that he's for sure going to play. He's either going to be inactive or he's going to play 30-something minutes tonight. So, yeah, I drafted him once. I'm not going to lie. 28 minutes, 30 real-life basketball points, 5 stocks last time out against the Wiz there. This is pace up, highest total on the slate. Give me some Jeff Doughton in my life if he is not inactive this evening.
I mean, what you're sacrificing nothing by clicking his name today, so you might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a visitor. I need to. He's in the middle of a feeding.
There we go. His first appearance on the show.
Hi guys.
Bria has an appointment, so it's me and Mello for the rest of the show.
Let's go. Mello's first appearance. Let's get this. How do we get this? Give me 1 second here. Let's get Mello full screen here.
I'll put the mic in his face so you can hear his little baby noises.
There we go. Big Mel's.
There he is. Look at him. Oh! Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
This guy's got no mitts.
I promise I've heard him before.
This guy's got no mitts, Nezzy.
I was trying to show you him. I'm doing too much at once. He's a little guy.
Oh man, the young goat. Everyone's coming through for the Mello. Let's go, Mello.
When he's done eating, I'll hold him up Simba style to the to the camera. But
oh, good stuff.
Yeah. I'm on babysitting duty tonight. That's right.
Oh man, best guest ever, to be honest. Love it. Oh, wow. That's fun, dude. That is fun. Okay, you get to go?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about anyone else from this game and the ADPs from this game, like the Atlanta side. Ricochet cooked late in that ball game when they pulled the starters, but he was playing really good basketball prior to that as well. Let's talk about the Atlanta side, Nez. We kind of both think they're going to play full-ish, I would say. Thoughts on Atlanta? Thoughts on players you want to get to? That sort of deal.
Does the spread to you sort of indicate that once the game is out of hand, that Atlanta will just like pull their guys? I'm a little confused by the spread there.
I think the spread to me at the 10.5 there and the total suggests either both teams are going to treat this as full as they possibly can and play hard and Grimes is in, or exactly what you're indicating there, that they're going to play full for a bit. They're going to be up by 15 and then they're going to pull all their guys and they're going to play, I imagine Terrence Mann would get the majority of ball handling run there because I don't think they would play LeVert big minutes. He's actually like a good piece of their rotation. Not that Terrence Mann and George Niang aren't. I just think they're a little bit less impactful for them come playoff time or play-in tournament time. So, yeah, I kind of think, some of these G Leaguers, maybe Keaton Wallace, if he's been listed available, he's a guy. Let me confirm. Keaton Wallace has been listed available. So there's a guy that we've seen have huge box scores in the past with lead handling role. So I'm not sure he's draftable, but
right.
Yeah,
it just makes the ceilings obviously pretty limited on these guys. Probably fine picks just given everything, like ceilings are going to be questionable everywhere. So ultimately I feel like the Hawks are just going to be fine. It's just, yeah. I don't think we're getting 36 minutes of Trae Young tonight, obviously. That's all.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, without the Western Conference teams on the slate, effectively, all those back end ones, I don't think anyone's really pushing for 36 minutes on this slate. I think it's all the guys in those other games.
Yeah. Good point.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the 76ers side here. Grimes goes every time. And Bona goes most times in the last round there. I think my favorite clicks would be Lonnie Walker and Jeff Doughton. Butler becomes more interesting if Grimes doesn't go or if Doughton doesn't go. I think Ricky Council in that instance draws into the starting lineup. Then Marcus Bagley's played like a decent amount in recent memory. But yeah, it just leaves a lot to be desired in terms of fantasy output. Yeah, who would you like to get to on the Sixers side?
Bona, I think, is probably my favorite here. Butler, perhaps. Mm-hmm. And I would probably just like roll the dice with Grimes. I mean, you're going to have swap options if he doesn't play. Feels cheap enough. And it's just like they just don't seem to like care a lot of like about like limiting Grimes minutes, like they're just like letting this guy earn himself some money.
Love it. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, we got a big one rolling through, dude. Shout out to our guy Car Park rolling through with the
The goat.
69.99. Good Canadian kids, CAD. Love to see it. Love to see none of this fake USD stuff. A nice CAD in our pocket. There's some funny colored bills. Mad respect, Car Park. We've talked so much about him recently, crushing multiple sports across the platform right now. He is keeping our dogs fed with the 69.99 there. He's keeping Mellow fed, and he's keeping us clothed. He's keeping Mellow spit up season.
Through the nose.
And
buddy.
That's good shit.
Thank you, Car Park, man. You're the goat. I wear your shirts all the time.
Yeah, keeping us clothed with the troll clothing there, man. Absolutely. Keeping us hydrated too with the whiskey. This guy's got lots of irons in the fire there, Nez.
The whiskey's good, man. The whiskey's real good.
I respect it. I haven't sampled yet, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, you can ship anything to Texas.
Yeah, there you go, man. Dirty hands, clean money from our guy. Yeah, you know what? I know he didn't ask for it, but we're gonna drop the company in the chat there for him because both you and I wear the dirty hands, clean money all the time. We're gonna leave that beautiful 69.99 up there for a little bit. All right, Nez, let's move on here out of that dust fest into a game that we think should at least be competitive for a bit here. After last night, a little less impactful. This one could have been more so this evening, but yeah, Bucks with as 5.5 point dogs in Detroit here. Second night of a back-to-back for both of these teams. 2:30, which now just changed to 2:31 there. We have injury reports for both of these teams. We have Giannis with the probable tag, and then obviously Dame is still out there. Jericho Sims still out, that sort of thing. Tyler Smith listed as doubtful, but doesn't factor in for us. And then on the Pistons side, we got Q tags on all the G Leaguers, and then we got Beef Stew and Jaden Ivey listed as out. Cade has the probable tag for the second night in a row here. Yeah, thoughts on this one, thoughts on Giannis in particular, and then thoughts on, the pushing up Kevin Porter Jr. ADP right now.
Yeah, I mean, hard not to like Kevin Porter Jr. I didn't get a chance to hear your full thoughts yesterday, but I mean, he's been playing really good ball, and the fact that there's going to be like minutes opening up, at least there was yesterday, with the all the Giannis questionability, made sense. This is a game that both teams are probably going to try, is what we kind of said. So, right?
Yeah. I think there's basically a 15, depending where you look, 15-20% chance to flip one another in the standings, but they're both locked into 5 and 6.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, how do you do anything other than Giannis 1K2 right now?
Yeah, agreed with you. I think they feel, at least this game's going to be competitive for half, and maybe they are just high enough rates guys, high enough usage guys that we end up with 45 fantasy points from each of them in 3 quarters of competitive basketball, and that's just enough to win the slate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the crystal ball to do anything else other than Giannis 1, Cade 2 right now.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you there. Let's talk about auxiliary pieces in this game just in general. Detroit, I mean, maybe it's good that there's no Beef Stew, that, Duran looks a little bit better there. Asur, we talked about it on the paywall in a big way there yesterday, hitting Dom's question here. Like he ripped his soul out yesterday. I said that it was one of the worst ADPs on the board because the factoring in of Tobias coming back. We didn't know what Tobias's minutes were going to look like, but we just know that the offensive output is greatly impacted when they're both on the floor with one another. Yeah. So just thoughts on auxiliary Detroit pieces tonight.
I certainly don't have great leans right now on any of these guys. I think my TLDR would be like, I don't know, can you just like pass on all of them? Right? I
Probably.
mean, or I guess Duran is always in play. Um, Duran and man, I'm thinking about just Duran. I was gonna say giving Schroeder some looks, but no, I think just Duran.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think with no beef stew, it makes it a little safer, a little better there. But I do think if this game goes one way or the other, that the first guys out are all those starters, and you get 28 minutes of b-ball Paul in the second unit onward kind of thing. So I mean, I'd leave a light on tonight. Probably not a play on our site, but if you're playing on Redacted, the Paul Reed factor tonight, non-zero chance. He gets some good burn, but that's pure gal brain. Yeah. Yeah, I like the Kevin Porter Jr. stuff. He seems like one of the guys that they just let run, even if there was a little bit of garbage time. He played until like 5 minutes left in the fourth yesterday. So it's just a guy that they let run, and he fills it up in a big way. Bobby Portis, as I said on the paywall yesterday, his usage is going to be impacted to a way in which we have never seen. This was not a Bobby Portis 1-for-1 for Giannis like spot of old, because those times back in the day, he was playing alongside AJ Green and Prince and this sort of stuff. Now he has two guys who want the ball and want to score in KPJ and in Kyle Kuzma on that second unit. So I will not be playing Bobby Portis yet again tonight. I think the minutes are working him back, soft capped. He missed 25 games. It was encouraging to see him play 28 the first time out, but I can't bet on him for minutes. There's just going to be other places that are better to go on this slate.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think you might have ran a little good on the Bobby Portis FUD because Giannis played.
Yeah.
Once Giannis sat, Bobby started to actually produce some fantasy points. I think he had like 18 fantasy points in the fourth quarter, something like that. So I mean, I do think that we still could get vintage Bobby if Giannis ever sat again, but that's not happening. So,
but. Yeah, entirely fair point there, dude. Yeah, definitely nut outcome would have been if Giannis sat yesterday.
Yeah, I think it would have things would have probably been a little different, but his ADP was already frothy, so it was a good call regardless.
All right, dude. Let's move on to the next one here. This is we're gonna go dumpster diving in this one. Magic and Pacers, which is a 212.5, which is very, very low for a Pacers, but kind of high for a Magic game. Kind of high for a Magic game here. Pacers as 4-point favorites at home in this one. They have ruled out all the starters because the Pacers have less than a 5% chance of moving, and the Magic can't move at all right now. So no Paulo, no Franz, no Mo Wagner, as well as we have known, and no Jalen Suggs as we have known for a while. Corey Joseph been listed available, and then no KPJ, no Wendell Carter Jr. So that's effectively their whole starting unit, with the exception of the guard position there in whoever they insert, Cole Anthony or Joseph or Anthony Black on a usual occasion. So they're missing 4 of their 5 starters in that starting unit. And then on the Pacers side, more of the same. They're Nembhard, Naismith, Siakam, Turner, and Halliburton are out here. So we're going to be talking about TJ McConnell. We're going to be talking about Obi Toppin. We're going to be talking about all that sort of stuff. So who do you like here, Nez, just in general, because none of them really have ADPs right now outside of Cole Anthony?
Do you think TJ, I think Benny Math is available.
Yep.
Obi, these guys are valuable bench players. Do you think they play like 30 minutes? Yeah.
I think TJ will be soft capped. As much as I want to be like, yo, TJ, fuck yeah, TJ, it's TJ night. I don't imagine he plays more than 28 minutes tonight. So 28 minutes of TJ on a slate like this, can he get it done? Absolutely. If he starts, absolutely. But they're going to get some G Leaguers some burn tonight. They're still going to run 10, 11 deep, and they're not going to risk Benny Math, TJ, Obi Toppin getting hurt in this ball game because it's meaningless. So they're going to get some burn, but this is completely different than like the Pelicans last night, for instance, where they only had 8, and even though they don't have that many, they were just like fucking, Alf Payton. If you want to play 35 and you can play 35, play 35. They're not going to do that with McConnell, Toppin, or Benny Math. You hope that they get it done by having, expanded roles in 28 minutes tonight.
Yeah. And because of that, I don't know, I'm just seeing names that I'm somewhat familiar with on their bench. Like, is it Jarris Walker night? Is it Thomas Bryant night? Like, this is one of those games where I don't think there's enough volume minutes wise to get to, just because it's like you're getting like 20 minutes of everybody, it seems like.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too, man. I mean, you're probably not getting 20 minutes of the legend James Johnson, but it's gonna be fun to see him on the court and get some burn for the first time in a long time there, especially at home. Magic side, dude, is there anything else that you would like there? I mean, like we tend to like Goga when he's starting. Could Goga play full tonight? Does Corey Joseph start? Does Cole Anthony start? Does Anthony Black start? Like, what do you think here?
I think Anthony Black seems like the most likely here.
Okay.
But you mentioned Corey Joseph too.
Yeah, good Canadian kid.
Man, are they not just going to let this guy just do what he wants?
I don't know, man. He's been starting a bit for them in recent memory, like as they worked Cole Anthony back. I think Corey Joseph means a little bit to this ball club in general. Like I think he means a little bit more to them than like Gary Harris or Jet Howard or someone like that they could just let play.
Yeah. I know Goga's probably going to start, but how many minutes is he going to play, even though he's not really part of their rotation anymore?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I might just take a shot on Goga.
Okay. Yeah, Goga or Da Silva or Caleb Houston, who started the second half, like something like that. Any of those guys?
Okay. Yeah, those guys feel decent.
Okay. Yeah, but yet again, guys, everyone in this game, like in terms of like ADP, like everyone's taking Cavs guys that might play 18 minutes, and you can just go and scroll to the Magic, and like nobody's taking like any of these guys or whatever, and we might get someone playing full here, right? Like Da Silva feels like a guy that they would just be like, fucking play, man. Like just start and play and like just do your best. Like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I like the Magic tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of like it too. Like we've seen Queen have a ceiling game or two in the past as well there, up and down from the G League this year. Like, maybe he just plays 25 minutes tonight and
he doesn't like mean anything to their like playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
He is a real NBA player. He's gotten a real run against ones before. He feels good.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Let's move on from that game there, Nez. Let's move on to Hornets and Celtics. I don't think you can play a single Celtic this evening. They're 19-point favorites. Sorry, excuse me. At home. This is a 213.5. Yeah, I know the Celtics are gonna like start their starting unit this evening because Jaylen Brown is the only one listed as out. Jaylen Brown is listed as out this evening and gonna play on Sunday 100%, but he's gonna play very limited minutes on Sunday because he needs that game to qualify for All NBA. So he's gonna play Sunday for shout out to Justin for that nugget there. He's gonna play on Sunday for sure, but it's probably gonna be soft capped at 15. 15, 18, 20, something like that. I think 15 was the threshold Justin said that he had to play. But yeah, pretty clean on the Celtics side outside of that. And then on the Hornets side, Bridges is out, Melo's out, Miller's out, Trey Mann's out. We got an available tag on Mark Williams for whatever reason. And then we got Diabates with the Q tag there. So they're going to at least be big if Diabates can go with the illness tag, because they're going to have Nurk, Williams, and Diabates, which means they could start two of them and play one of them at the 4 alongside each other. We saw Nurk play big minutes last time out, but I don't think they do that. I don't know, man. They got some of the wings back this evening in like Okogie and Jeffries. So Nick Smith Jr., who had a nice game last time out, probably comes back to the bench. I don't know. Do you want to get to KJ Simpson? Do you want to get to Nick Smith? Do you want to get to, I don't know, Salon? Like maybe they just let the rookie play and go out there and prove yourself kind of thing. What do you like or dislike?
I mean, I don't think anything on the Celtics. They have that problem of like just not enough minutes to go around for everybody. It seems like. Mm-hmm. So probably nothing there. Hornets, yeah, I don't love it either. Maybe like I'll probably have 0 Mark Williams at that ADP. 100% drafted Mark Williams tonight of all nights. No way.
Yep, agreed.
KJ Simpson. I like KJ Simpson. He's going to play 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think KJ Simpson and Nick Smith Jr. are kind of like the safest of the bunch in terms of like minute ceiling combo. That being said, this is the lowest team total on the slate, and if they get the Celtics full unit for like a quarter or something, like they could just be down 30-12 after the first.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
Celtics side, Nez, can we go Galbrain on the Celtics and, get some of their second bench unit guys and that sort of deal? Or can we take Tatum at ADP? What do you think, dude?
I don't know. Tatum is probably okay.
Okay.
Because, like, we know he's going to play. We're concerned about everybody's ceiling, so like it's probably smart to just draft him because he's going to play and he's probably giving you 30 fantasy points. I think today you take 30 fantasy points,
Right. Yeah, so, when everyone on the slate's minutes are in jeopardy, like at least we know he's going to start and play. Does it get capped at 18, 20 minutes, or does he find his way to 28 and break the slate?
Right. Like, does he play the third?
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Does he do enough in that in those small minutes to do enough? I think it's possible too. So I'm just taking him. Do I feel confident? I mean, absolutely fucking not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No shot do I feel confident, but
yeah. Who would be your favorite second Celtic?
I think Pritchard.
Okay. I agree with you. I was going to say Luke Cornett, but either or.
They care about Pritchard for sure, but I just keep going back to that way early quote of Jaylen Brown saying like you have Peyton Pritchard out there to murder teams like the Pistons.
Yeah. Classic one there. Jared Morgan rolling through asking us any NBA postseason drafts soon. Yeah, man, we did Tuesday show was all NBA postseason stuff. It was the dance. We talked about some of the combos. We talked about that sort of deal. Maybe we run something again as the play-in tournament is happening on Monday. So yeah, we could potentially run something more for the dance when things are solidified after Sunday. We could do that early next week. And then in terms of postseason daily draft stuff, we're going to still do our thing. We're going to still break down these slates. It's going to be a lot more enjoyable to break down those slates than a slate like today because we're going to have a lot more known information, tighter rotations, etc. So those contests will be a lot of fun to draft as well. So we'll have you covered for both of them. But if you're looking for dance-related content, off and on the clock with last year's champion, Scott, is right down here somewhere from Tuesday. Go check that one out. All right, Nez. let's jump on over here. Knicks as 2-point favorites at home against the Cavs. A 224.5. Two of the teams that are both on the back-to-back again, back-to-backs here. We have injury reports for both of them, where the Cavs have waved the white flag in terms of some of their bodies, but then they have listed some of their other bodies available. The Jared Allen streak, we talked about how it was the worst ADP on the board yesterday, bar none. That aged beautifully because he's just going to go out there and keep the streak alive. He's not going to play real minutes. So I'm kind of anticipating, Garland, Mobley, and Allen to play like a half of basketball tonight, and then they turn it over to the bench because the Celtics are fully locked in. They cannot go up or down. All they could do is clinch home court throughout the entirety of the postseason versus OKC on the other side, but they also have a game up on that. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty safe only want bench guys from the Cavs spot. But Hunter's out this evening, Ty Jerome's out this evening, and Sam Merrill's out this evening, which would be some of those bench guys we would go to. So we talked about liking Craig Porter Jr. This evening earlier there. And then on the Knicks side, we got Q tags on Josh Hart and OG Anunoby, who both did not play basketball last night. Then we got a Jalen Brunson Q tag, and we got a Cat Q tag. The Knicks are locked in effectively. They could lose both, and the Knicks could win both, and the Pacers could win both and get help, and they could maybe flip the 3 and the 4, but it is like fractions of points in reality of happening. So I'm not anticipating these guys going this evening, which brings Precious Achiuwa back into our lives, which brings Deuce McBride, who had a nice ball game last night, into our lives. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, we kind of mentioned off the top there. Craig Porter Jr. feels awesome as a pick. Here, Deuce McBride comes into play. Seems like a really good pick today. Mm-hmm. How about this kid, Pachome Daddier? You think he's going to get some run tonight? Like, I just don't think the Knicks are going to play a whole lot of their guys. And Daddier was, I think, their first round pick this year. So maybe let him get some run.
Yeah, even if they let him get run, I won't play him tonight. But I do think you're on to the scent here. I'm in agreement with the direction in which you're heading here. I don't think I'd play Daddier, but I would definitely play, some McBride, some maybe Campaign, something like that. No, man, he's so bad from a fantasy point per minute standpoint. Landry Shamet and Corey Joseph, I'll just draw a line straight through them. They're less than like half fantasy point per minute producers. Like, they're two of the worst in all of basketball. So I'll draw a line through those guys, even if the minutes are there.
You don't think Shamet's going to make it rain tonight, dude?
I think DeLon Wright could make it rain tonight. You get a little DeLon Wright going back and forth with Craig Porter Jr.
Now you're talking.
Here we go. Is this for real right now? I was looking in the chat here. Brooks quad on 18 to miss the cut. Is that real? Or was that like, oh man, that's gross.
Brooks that sucks.
That sucks indeed. Yeah, that's gonna shake up some shit in the scrambles and albatrosses. Absolutely. Holy,
fuck my life for sure.
I'm going back to the Precious well tonight. Precious had a poster last night. Precious was putting up threes. Precious played 39 minutes, and I don't think Tibbs would be afraid to play him that again this evening. He looks like the safest of like the starting bunch there to play, 30, 28, 30, something like that. So I'll go back to the Precious well again this evening. Nez, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that feels really good. Precious might play more minutes than there actually are in the basketball game.
In theory. All right, let's talk about the Wiz and the Bulls here. Bulls as 16-point favorites at home. This is the second highest total on the slate here with the 237.5. Bulls have the Q tag on Giddy now. I'm going to confirm if that is the same Q tag. It is the bunch of right flexor Carpi Ulnaris.
That's the forearm, I believe.
I can fully admit I've never heard those words put together before there, Mr. Hkin. So yeah, there's a yeah. I don't know. Thankfully your degree is coming in use there, Nez.
Yeah, that's that connects to the pinky.
Okay.
That starts at the elbow, wraps around the
Right here.
yep, connects all the way to the pinky. So he's got some forearm issues going on.
Okay, interesting. All right, so Giddy has the Q tag. He put up a triple double last time. His triple double odds in the Pick'em lobby last time were like 1.9x. Just insane, dude.
And it hit, right?
And it smashed. Oh man. Yeah, they got Jalen Smith with a probable, Dale Terry with a Q tag here. People were asking in the chat like why Giddy wouldn't play and what this means for the Bulls. Like the Bulls are pretty much locked in to the 9 seed. They would have to have Atlanta lose both and then them win and flip. And they're pretty much locked to host the Heat. I mean, the Heat could play full the next 2 games and the Bulls lose some games and they flip that one, but they're locked into the play-in tournament. So yeah.
Yeah, like I kind of touched on it at the beginning. I just don't know why Giddy would play. It doesn't really make sense to me, but I mean, it is just a forearm, so it's not like it's anything that you're worried about like exacerbating in theory, right? I mean, but late Q tag against the Wizards, it just seems unlikely to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to have like where would you rank Giddy? 4, 3, 4, lower than that?
Yeah, probably. I think the nice thing is that at least there's swaps available. Like there's plentiful swaps available, and swaps on a slate like this are going to be more powerful and impactful than any other slate this year, where you could actually just win with like a 6th rounder into the first round because everything else just it's so gross. That being said, I wouldn't be jumping up and down to take him, but like I'm not jumping up and down to take anyone in the first round right now. So yeah. I'd probably straight up rather take Vooch, I think.
I think so too, man. I think so too. Like against the Wizard, I mean, he Biggs against the Washington's been so good this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, big team total here, big game total as well. But Bulls got a lot of bodies available though. Like I don't know, we could see the 5 split and Zach Collins plays more tonight. Like we could see like a guy like Horton Tucker, he just feels like a punt game guy where they just like, yo, THT, here's the ball, go play 28 minutes and get us 25 real life basketball points. Like he's still viable to do that at his age and size right now.
Yeah. Size is the key word there. He's a fucking bowling ball.
He's a thick boy. I don't know. Do you want to get to a lot of the Bulls starters here? Because, it's pace up. This is second highest total on the slate. In theory, they're playing for something. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Vooch a lot, man. I think I'm going to buy into Vooch being a good pick.
Okay. Herder, White, Buzelis, anything like that for you?
If Giddy is out, then maybe some Herder.
Okay. Yeah, I can respect that. Wizard side is kind of more fun to me because at least they're going to be concentrated and we're going to know where these minutes are going. Like Marcus Smart doesn't play like full anymore. JT Thor won't be able to play full, which leaves like 10 bodies, but like 8 bodies who are going to soak up the majority of the minutes. And Bub Carrington and Sar in recent minutes, and Keyshawn George just coming back from the injury in recent minutes, have been a little bit capped. So like they've been doing like the Justin Champagne thing, AJ Johnson, Colby Jones, like north of 30. I don't see why that doesn't happen again tonight and stick kind of similar to what we saw from the Pels yesterday. I kind of like the Wiz side here because I know where the volume's going and it feels like a good pace up spot.
Yeah, so Who's your favorite whiz tonight? What do these ADPs even look like?
I'll jump over to ADPs for you. I think Champagne, but I think everybody feels that way. Yeah, 28 there.
People sleeping on my guy AJ Johnson.
Yeah, AJ Johnson should be getting drafted with some regularity. Same with Colby. Like, I think both of them could play. Here's 32 fantasy points. AJ 35 minutes. Yeah. Tristan Vucevic is a guy that we know can, put up box scores in a hurry. 23 minutes there, puts up 27 fantasy points. Yeah, I'd be going to some of these guys more than the field's getting to them right now.
Yeah, it's a yeah. This is pretty ugly over here.
Oh man. Yeah, I think Herter, if Giddey sits, I think Buzelis is fine, but I'm a little scared of starters minutes here, especially when they're 16-point favorites. I think THT would be like my favorite Chicago scroll. Maybe Zach Collins as well.
Yeah. Those seem solid.
Yeah. If they split the 5 roll tonight between them, and Collins finds his way to 23, I mean, Collins could matter definitely. All right, Nez, let's push forward here. 2 games left on the main slate here. The Heat as 15-point favorites on the road here against the Pels, who are on the second night of a back-to-back there, where they only had 8 bodies yesterday. This is a 214.5 here. Man, the Pels were pesky. They were pesky in the first half there, giving a little bit of a scare to the Bucks, and then they just got trampled in the third quarter. But yes, we got injury report. Where am I scrolling to? We got injury report on the Pelicans. All the usual suspects have been ruled out, which includes Bruce Brown and Jordan Hawkins now as well there. We got a Q tag, and Yves Missi, I should add. He had a Q tag yesterday. Jose Alvarado is listed with a Q tag, and Carlo Makovic is listed with a Q tag, who played some good minutes yesterday and was definitely a factor in the early going of that ball game. I thought he played good defense on Giannis yesterday. I watched a little bit of that. So if both of them can play, I count 9 bodies tonight. Yeah, I count 9 because no Bruce Brown, no Yves Missi, which would be 1 more than yesterday. But Jose Alvarado did not play yesterday. If Jose Alvarado plays this evening, he's probably the best pick on the board from that team. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna play basketball tonight. So I think going back to the Peyton going back to the Keon Brooks some of that stuff could be okay tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Peyton, Reeves, JRE. I like those 3 quite a bit. Throw Brooks in there too. I think those 4 should be playing a ton.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, Peyton, Reeves, Brooks, and JRE, as you alluded to. Carlo, if he plays, especially from a rates perspective, but it's not the greatest matchup in the world for bigs against the Heat, right? So
no.
I do kind of want to get to some of the handlers probably a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, Elfrid Payton is just like walking 10 assists. I mean, it's hilarious.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. He's such a good story, man. Like, and he's not a nobody, right? Like, he started like 400 and something plus basketball games in his life. The broadcast was saying, I think 450 games as a starter in his life. And then he just takes, 3 years off and then just plays on 2 ways for the last 2 years. Like, it's crazy, or on 10 days rather. A pretty crazy story for him.
Yeah, he deserved a better fate. So I'm glad he just while we were streaming signed a traditional contract.
Good.
With the Pels. So he's
nice,
getting paid now.
That's good, man. I like that. Trevor asking, we'll do a rapid fire of baseball. I mean, there's just so much to talk through with NBA today, and I thought the slate was going to be even bigger today. I didn't expect. I'm not going to lie. When we were planning this show, I expected the NBA stuff, just being the last 2 big slates of the year, to be bigger than the baseball stuff in terms of prize pool and stuff. But the site went the other way with them being about the same. So we just originally planned to do basketball today, but we will definitely hit on the baseball. Just now seeing what the contest looked like this morning. There, Justin, what's good, man? Yeah, we're cooking out here, dude. Gonna have to put the site in reference to the platform that people, the Black and Yellow Dog app, Underdog Fantasy. There, yeah, we're gonna have to cook up some pick'ems, but it's a little too early in the day to cook them up with how silly all this news could break. We could just leave you guys drawing stone dead right now. We could get some good CLV, but we could also just leave you drawing stone dead with some of the way news could break later in the day. So I'm a proponent of plus EV bets around here, Nez.
We need to. You got to risk it for the biscuit a little bit, man. If we have to at least peruse and see if there's anything worth getting out of.
Right.
You can maybe pair with baseball with the baseball pick 'em. There's a lot of different ways we can do. We could do this.
All right, we will peruse. We will peruse. All right, Nez, I'm looking through the Discord right now for fans' comment that he retweeted earlier, but it was a direct quote from Spoelstra. Where am I looking? I mean, I could probably just search it, right? That seems like a smarter idea.
Yeah, I thought I saw it under the player news updates.
There it is. I got it here. Coach Spoelstra said he will treat tonight's game like a normal game and play Heat's regulars despite essentially being locked into the 10 seed. So that's kind of bullish for Bam and Hero as early ADPs here. Wiggins, coming back from the injury, has played one game as well there. Davion Mitchell is a big minutes guy, but not a big fantasy producer. He's more of an on-ball stopper type, but Davion Mitchell is getting drafted a little bit because of recent box scores as well. And the minutes look pretty safe for these guys, allegedly. That being said, this game could go by way of what the Bucks did yesterday and took care of business in 2.5 quarters, and then the guys don't play. But we're kind of dealing with that all over this slate. So I kind of like some of the Miami pieces just because of the coach's comments.
Yeah, I mean, this is an odd one. I don't know why they'd be playing these guys. Yeah, but you just got to take them at face value. Maybe they just want to get right, like probably didn't like the way that the second half of the season was going for them. Like, if you take away those last 10 games or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, who do we like? Or are we going after Bam and Hero? I think you just kind of have to take him at his word and push those guys up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the other players going around them in terms of ADP, like, it feels safer than taking Karl Anthony Towns, who we think's going to sit. Feels safer than getting one half of Mobley. Yeah. If you take them at face value, their path to minutes looks safer than the guys around them right now.
Yeah, they look like they should be like top 5 picks. If you're gonna, deduce that, hey, these guys are playing 33 for sure against a shitty ass Pelicans team, then then we should probably give these guys, their ADPs are probably fake, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, man. I tend to agree with you. I do think they will be kind of like boosted a little bit in the actual drafts once we get into a draft here. Nez, I saw this earlier. Who is this? Who is Vixen?
I have no idea.
Like, someone tweeted, like, when I just assume it's a bot. Like, when I always tweet out those GMs, I get like random like crypto bots. Is this Vixen person real or not? That is the question.
Because let me see. What happened to you today?
She's this little Vixen giving me a GM John here. Who knows, buddy? Who knows what's going on here on
Queen of all trades, meme coin marketing.
The meme coin DM for business.
If she sends you a link, you should definitely click it.
So good.
Oh my god.
Oh man, just the AI bots out here trying to trap your boy. Trying to trap your boy.
It might work.
Yeah.
I don't know, John. You're my IG account. Knock on wood's never been hacked. You're on. You're on two now.
It's true. It's true. I did
I-
get the IG account hacked there, which then led to some credit card stuff too. Oh, it's brutal.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry, I didn't.
Nah, it's all good. It's all taken care of now, and we're back. We're back on the IG. I posted for like 10 straight. Yeah, this is basically what it is. John's password is password 2, huh? That was basically what my IG. That's basically what my IG password was. Yeah. That has since changed. We're a dual factor guy now.
There you go.
Some alpha rolling in for the late slate here. Nez, Rockets have ruled out Ahmed Thompson, Tari Eason, and Dylan Brooks. And by the sounds of it, the best Clippers beat reporter expects Zubac and Powell to play this evening. So the conditional projection at Unabated has gone from 50% to 55%. So there's a little bit of late slate dynamics for you guys. Yeah, I think we pretty much hit on Pels and Heat. I guess, Pelicans guys that we're willing to get to kind of the same as yesterday with Reeves and Brooks and that sort of thing. And then the Heat side, taking Spoelstra at face value, which is never good because he's East Coast Kerr in terms of fucking with his minutes and his rotations. If there was one dude that he would run out in the fourth quarter of this game who could fill it up in a big way, if he didn't, bag the coach's wife, would be getting more playing time here. That's Jaime Jaquez. Jaime Jaquez could matter tonight. That's my one pick from the Heat side as a super scroll.
Yeah, people forget Jaime Jaquez was running around, potentially, allegedly.
I mean, his minutes in recent memory suggest that that potential might be then confirmed. All right, Nez, let's move on to the last one on the slate. Raptors and Mavs. People are treating this one in terms of ADP a lot safer than I think it is. That being said, we went through the potential, it's Mavs fan appreciation night. It's last home game for the Mavs. Maybe they play their Mavs a little bit. Mavs could potentially flip the Kings, but it is highly, highly unlikely, like fractions of a percent unlikely there. But yeah, how are you treating this one? AD has a frothy ADP. PJ Washington goes, and then we'll talk about the Raptors side in a second.
I just can't imagine. I don't get why people would be drafting the Mavericks today, man.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
I don't see it at all.
Yeah, I don't see it outside of narratives where you go, you lost to Luka last time. AD played poorly, didn't look very good in that one. We put on a show at home for the first half for our fans on Famine Appreciation Night that, he does his thing, AD does his thing, and then we move on and we get ready for this play-in tournament. But I don't know why, with a team full of guys who just got back from injuries in Lively, Gafford, AD, this sort of thing, why you would play them anywhere near full tonight.
Yeah, I really don't get it. But, where do you go from here? I'm not sure why. Do you know... Am I missing something with Brandon Williams?
Like he was formerly on a 10-day and then now has been signed to a full contract. So when they were managing his minutes and stuff like that, he's fully available now.
He feels like a good pick, does he not? He's got a nice bag.
Yup. Well said, dude.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Brandon Williams feels like a scroll the F down today.
Yeah.
He hasn't played in a while, but that wasn't because he was hurt. It was because they were managing the contract, right?
Got it. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And he could put on a show.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Brandon Williams feels like a guy who could do a lot with a little, even if he only played like 22 minutes of like garbage time run kind of deal. Yeah.
Yeah. I will have no Anthony Davis tonight.
All right. I respect it, man. I respect it. Yeah, pro tip from Blake in the chat. Absolutely. Spike rolling through to say GM, what up, my friend? Yeah, AMAC, you're the man. Austin was one of the recipients of that Justin Rose alpha. Dom saying Najee Marshall night. I think Najee Marshall's a little too important to them. Like, he's a bad rates guy. Like, he's a bad fantasy point per minute guy. He's a guy who needs like 36, 38 minutes to get home. And I just don't think that's on the table tonight. I think he's actually too important to this ball club for their play-in game that he factors into their rotation too impactfully. I think I don't know. Maybe his minutes go by the wayside when Caleb Martin's a little bit more juiced up to play. But I think Najee Marshall's probably too important for them for like the deep bench run. I think the deep bench run stuff is like Brandon Williams and Jaden Hardy and that sort of deal.
Yeah, well said, man. Well said. It just, yeah, I'm going to go Brandon Williams, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I respect it there, Nez. All right, we get to the toughest spot on the slate, in my estimation, both in terms of ADP and expectations here. The Raptors have out tags on RJ, Pirtle, and IQ. Pirtle's a real injury listing in quotations, and the other two are listed for rest designations. Jacoby Walter is listed out as well here, and there's a Q tag on Jared Rhoden. This leaves me to look at the Raptors and see 9 active bodies. Yeah. Sheed, Akbaji, Battle, Scotty Bolway, Mobo, AJ Lawson, Rhoden, and if he plays with the Q tag, Temple and Boucher. And they don't really play Chris Boucher. So now all of a sudden, is it 8? Question mark. And then all of a sudden you think, is Scotty still soft capped with the hand finger shooting injury there? Now all of a sudden it's 7 maybe. And then Rhoden has the Q tag with an injury designation coming into this one with a right shoulder sprain. Is it 6, 7 bodies now, Nez? I have no idea. So I don't know. Do you want to get overweight Mobo here because he's going to start at the 5 and he's a guy who's got to play a lot of minutes? Do you think Scotty Barnes could actually play anywhere close to full? Jamal Shed here, 35 minute ceiling potential. Can we play it? I don't know. What do you think with the Raptors, dude? Because I have no fucking clue.
Do you think Agbaji's going to play a lot?
I think he would be the number 2 guy that they would cap after Scotty Barnes.
Okay.
So I think Akbaji, just because he's been in and out of the lineup and that sort of thing, I think he would be the one that we would soft cap.
This sucks, dude.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
What the fuck? Garrett Temple night? I mean, what the hell? Are they going to cap Jamal? Like, if they don't let Jamal Shed play 30 minutes tonight, like, they need to go to jail.
Right, because Jamal Shed's had some weird shit in the past where they've been like, even when they're tanking, they're like, we're saving Jamal Shed.
Yeah,
and
like,
he just plays the first half and then they just fucking cut him off. So
it's insane.
It is insane. Nez, we got to pause the show here. Our guy AMAC, aka the guest of PGA, last year's Albatross winner, was behind the paywall on Tuesday's show. He is rolling through to drop off 50 of the funny colored money for us. Mad respect to our East Coast PGA grinder. Shout out to the PGA boys after he dropped off the alpha there for all of us on Tuesday, who got home with that Justin Rose first round leader yesterday. Mad respect. The people are giving today. The people are giving in a big, big way. Much love to you. Mad respect, my friend. Thank you so much.
Man, everybody's being way too nice to us.
It's because Mello made his appearance, bro. Mello made an appearance on the stream. Everybody's jacked up. It's Friday. They're watching the Masters. Couple wobblies in the afternoon here.
I'm gonna have to change him in a second. Once after I change him, we'll give him some more FaceTime and see if we can squeeze some more money out of these viewers. What do you think?
It's our number one sales pitch right now. Our number one selling pitch is Mellow on camera. Oh, so good. Spike's asking about AJ Lawson. I think AJ Lawson's in play. I think AJ Lawson's in play in a big way. I think he might be the safest minutes you can get to outside of Bobo on the Raptors.
Let's do it. AJ Lawson it is.
AJ Lawson night, baby. Dude, that was, what was that? 7 on the first slate, 8 on the first slate of the biggest dumpster fire games of all time. But guys, if you know your ball, you take everything that we said, interpret it in your own accord, you stay, dialed with the news the rest of the day. I'm not sure there's a bigger edge slate in all of basketball this year than today and Sunday. Just because of peak silly season. This is the true ball knower shit.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. I do agree with you. It's just I just don't know any ball, I fear.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. We didn't even need Mello. We didn't even need Mello on stream here. Spike coming in with a 50 spot as well. Of the real hard-earned USD greenbacks with the pyramid on the back. Oh man, money. Much love.
Right,
much love.
You get a Mello close up before I take him for a diaper change intermission.
Mello's intermission. This slate just as shitty as Mello's pants right now.
It's cooked.
He's cooked, man. He's exhausted.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Mad respect, Spike. Thank you so much, bro. Not necessary, but always appreciated. Mad love to the community today. We have so much fun doing this show, and little donations and stuff like this, or not little, big donations today. They go so far for us to be able to continue to do this show, feed our dogs and such. What do you guys say we start ripping some drafts, start having some fun out here? Let's start with the Fast Break Friday main slate. We're going to throw ADP out the window. We are going to have some fun with this one. I hear news. I do not hear news. I hear Blake tagging me in the Discord as if I'm not on stream right now. Blake, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? I thought it was unabated news here. Oh, there we go. Spike's in here with us. Fully Loaded's in here with us. If you guys are anybody else in here, say what up in the chat. We roll the 103 here. As we alluded to off the top, and as Justin alluded to, it is very tricky to decide how safe the minutes are of these big name players at the top of the draft board here. Seven to choose from at the top of the draft board here. I have no idea on the minutes here. I think I feel safest about a slightly competitive ball game between Milwaukee and Detroit. So I'm going to put those two at the top in Giannis and Cade. I think Trey, like Atlanta has a little bit of something to play for, so maybe Trey next after that. Nez is full-fledged off Anthony Davis today, so there's that. Austin rolling through. $10 from our guy Austin. Appreciate the alpha. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you being there for the PGA behind the paywall, taking advantage of that alpha. Mad respect. What a gracious, generous day by the community here. We had our car park dropping the 69. We had Morgan dropping in for $2 here. We had AMAC for 50. We had Spike for USD 50. We had Austin for 10. Mad respect, guys. Thank you guys so much. Very generous. Very generous. All right, let's take Cade. I think Cade feels, kind of like the safest, as I was just alluding to, of that top tier. How much is a good Canadian microbrew on tap? Pending where you go, Eggers. There's a lot of good like breweries around, my vicinity, Vancouver and stuff. A lot of microbrews and stuff. I'd say about $8. I'd say anywhere from like 8 to 12. There's a couple good ones that have like farms where they grow their own hops and then like the farmland and stuff. One's called Barnside. We really like that one. You could take the dogs, let them run. There's cornhole and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's a good spot. But yeah, I'd say $8 to $10 usually. Tasters are like 13 kind of deal. Let's take Tyler Hero. I don't think Cat plays basketball tonight. I'm intrigued to see how far he falls in a room. Let's take Spoelstra at his word. Famous last words. We'll take Spoelstra at his word that he then plays his starters versus the Pels tonight. There we go. Eggers rolling through with an $8 Teddy Brewski for your boy here. We're gonna snap one of those off this evening. Love that. Appreciate you. The rate in which we're going today, guys, we might stream forever and just start snapping off brews right now. Who knows? I think Kobe White, Dyson Daniels, and Mobo are all fine here. I think Kevin Porter Jr. for some game correlation as well is fine. I think Kevin Porter Jr. is like on the low end, gonna play 21 minutes. So I'm good. I'm good with all three of these. I don't think Brunson has any business playing this evening. Let's take Mobo. Mobo's been playing big minutes. Box scores look beautiful. As we alluded, Toronto only has like 8 or 9 bodies. So yeah, let's go ahead with that. All right, here's what you guys really wanted. Melo's moment in the sun here.
All right, we'll give him another because his eyes are actually open now. Come on, buddy. Let's go.
Let's
get the no footprint started.
There you go. What color are his eyes, Nez?
They're brown. They're like a lighter brown. They were like darker. They seem like they're lightening up a little bit, but big time brown, big brown eyes.
Nice. He's cute, man. I was really curious, like we talked about this before, like obviously interracial baby. I was really curious what the pigment of the skin and like how it's gonna change over time kind of thing.
There's times where in pictures he looks a little more melanated. But yeah, it's kind of hard to tell right now. Right now it does look like a little white boy, but everybody says I don't see it. Like I do see some parts of it that looks like me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are telling me they're like, "Oh, that's your twin." I don't think he looks that much like me,
right?
But yeah, he unfortunately might have some of his daddy's features.
Unfortunately, that's good. Nez, we're cooking right now. TJ McConnell just went at 20 in this draft to fully loaded. What? Yeah, love that. Respect the hell out of that. I took him at 15 in my first draft, so okay. I'm about it. I'm about it. I've gone ahead and taken Cade and Hero because I think they're kind of two of the safer targets in the first 2 rounds there. And then Mobo because of the 9 bodies, and then Champagne because of like a similar 9 bodies theory here. While you were gone, we received a bunch more donations, dude. Spike rolled through with 50. We had Austin rolled through with 10, and we had Eggers roll through with 8. So everybody's celebrating on this Friday with Baby Mello and with all the alpha rolling through in the chat here. Yeah, brews and baseball drafts. That's the vibe tonight. That is the vibe tonight.
Whole lot of baseball to draft too. No shortage of that.
Yeah, we will. We'll hop in those ones in a second here. Well, I think we'll do 2 of these ones here, Nez. Then I'm gonna have to before we jump into baseball, I'm gonna have to let you take the reins for 31 seconds. So I'm doing the happy dance right now, the happy swing over here for a little urination station I'm gonna need.
Yeah, I can. I got you. I got you.
We could go ahead and take Bona here. I think it's probably a fine minutes play and a fine rates play, but we could also push up Precious Achua if we think the Knicks guys are going to sit. Which do you prefer?
Ooh, I like Bona quite a bit.
All right, let's go ahead and do that. Bona's been playing some good basketball. I'm not sure how high the ceiling is, but I
Yeah,
think 28 minutes of Bona, 28 minutes of Sar tonight, like those kind of feel okay. Um, I'm gonna start thinking of some scrolls here. We see Spike taking the Kevin Porter Jr. plus Peyton Pritchard play, and then plus Goga starting at the 5. I think that's very sharp. I like all of those. Fully loaded, gonna play the swap game here with Josh Hart. I think it's pretty intelligent when the Q tags fall to the 5th and 6th here that you want to stay on the clock. You want to
absolutely.
stay on the clock
Yeah,
because
if
a
you're going to
lot
be
could
up for
open.
swaps, you. I mean, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. Derek White there as a potential, just starting in the first unit could do enough. Darius Garland could do enough with the first unit as well. Nez, I want to have some fun here though. I want to scroll, baby. I want to scroll all the way down to someone we've been talking about.
Where are you going to go with this one?
I think we go fan appreciation night. Let's put on display the guy who's been on the shelf for a bit, who we're not necessarily going to lean on in our play-in tournament, but we want to show you, the fans of the Dallas Mavericks, that we're not a dunce cap organization, that we have a player who can play basketball for us, handling the ball. That is going to be Brandon Williams cooking for 28 minutes tonight in fan appreciation night for the Mavs.
I like it. I think if in my drafts, I might take it one step further. 5th round, Brandon Williams.
Mm-hmm.
6th round, Craig Porter Jr.
Oh, buddy. All right. Well, glad you said it because we're going to rip one more of those and then do some baseball here. Nez, I'm going to excuse myself for
All right.
a few seconds here. You can filibust away for me, friend.
Yeah, here I'll let Mello talk here for a moment. He's sleeping. He just had a whole bunch of milk. This dude is on right now. If we let him, could take down 2 ounces. He takes down 2 ounces of milk. Usually, we give him like 1 ounce at a time. Kind of chill out on that. 2 ounces puts him to sleep. So we got to save the 2 ounces for when we really need some downtime of the little guy. I don't sleep a ton right now, as you may have heard, happens when you have newborn kids. You don't sleep that much. I haven't been sleeping that much. That's all right though. That's okay. He's a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna crush a nap right after this, assuming that this guy stays asleep. That sounds like the vibe for me. Getting some baseball drafts in though in the meantime, because we've got a game in Sacramento, and those games have just been fucking electric. So really liking the Sacramento game today. They're not even called the Sacramento Athletics, obviously. They're just called the Athletics, which is pretty sick. No location, just athletics. I think that's pretty tough. It's like Washington football team, except it would just be football team. He's back.
Let's do this. Roll damn Tide. Roll Tide champs. He's got the black badge now. Roll Tide champs got the black badge now. All right, Nez. I think we want to lean into some of our priors here. You said Tatum could do enough in a little in your mind, and then you said you like the fact that Vooch is available here.
I think so.
Do you like Bam more than Tatum?
I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Let's take Tatum and Vooch here. I think Tatum could do enough in like 28 minutes.
Yeah, it's. I I don't know. I think Bam is just as much at risk as Tatum is. Truthfully, I mean, I know Coach said one thing, but when push comes to shove and you're up 30, what are you gonna do?
Right. No, I fully agree with you, man. I fully agree with you. Absolutely. Yeah, I think this could be a night where we look back to the first and second round and we go, there was like one dude who you had to have. Like there was one dude because that was the game that was close. That was the one that they let run full. Or I think more likely we look back and like all of them didn't matter. And there was some sixth rounder who we could have taken who outscored all of the first 9 picks, you know? Now,
Yep.
I'm not sure we're going to know who that player is. We're throwing, darts and ideas out there for you guys. But that's just how I look at this slate right now.
Yeah, I fully agree. Like you could potentially forego the top 10 picks and it could be optimal.
Right, exactly. Like I think traditionally speaking, that would be an absolute death trap in NBA. But on today's slate, I think it's definitely viable.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nez, I had to do it, man. We're vibes out here. Sun is shining. We got the Masters on. The boys are absolutely cooking. The community is gifting out heaps money because of Mello. Mello's on the stream for the first time. Sounds of summer, my friend.
Oh,
that was a soft one. That was a soft one.
You might have to crack another one for that.
My guy Eggers was asking about local brews. This is a good spot here. Britannia Brewing for anybody in the Vancouver region there. Nez, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring for KPJ here. It does feel like a little chasey, but we do know what he can do from a rates standpoint. I'm scared of Scotty's minutes tonight, but at least they are super limited in terms of bodies available. I think we should start scrolling here. Who do you like?
Well, you did say Bona. We already took him. You took Champagne. I know you like him.
Yeah, but we get a little game correlation with Vooch there.
Yeah. All right.
We could do Vooch and Vooch too for the game correlation, where you do like Tristan and Nikolai,
Yeah. We could go double Vooch, double Porter Jr.
Oh, double Porter! Wow, now we're cooking. The name alliteration stacks.
That would have been good.
That would have been good.
Kind of dropped the ball on that a little bit.
Yeah, we fumbled it. We fumbled the bag. Brett Boy telling us that the Masters leaderboard is shaping up for Saturday nicely. Rose, Bryson, Rory, Connors, and Scotty. Wow, that's beautiful. Good Canadian kid, Corey Connors, sneaking his way into that conversation. Actually, it's pretty funny, dude. I think our broadcast is a little bit different than the one in the States because, like, the States is doing like the featured, follow the featured group and like that sort of thing, and then you have to go to like the .com. This is before the main broadcast starts, but I think the international audience gets a main broadcast all the time, and we also have you can go to those groups or whatever. And it was pretty funny because they have like a Canadian narrator guy, James Duffy, who's like long time not quite SVP level in Canada, but he's like a long time Sports Center kind of guy, and he's narrating. And they're waiting because they're not in control of the cameras. They're waiting for them at certain holes to cut to Connors. It's very funny. So he's like, we're going to keep it here for about 12 more minutes because we think Connors is going to come into frame at like this next one. It's pretty funny.
That's great. Connors gets the support of the entire country behind him.
Yeah. It's dope, dude.
I kind of love that.
Oh, man. All right, Nez. I think we do some crazy scrolling here. We put our money where our mouth is. You and I both said the Porter to Porter stack is in play here.
Yes.
Craig Porter Jr. as a scroll the F down here. I'm sad that TJ McConnell went at 18. I would have lobbied for him as well. Who else could we add to this?
Let's see here.
Precious. There ain't no stopping. OB topping. Jamal Sheed. Dude, what about AJ Lawson?
Sure.
AJ
This sounds like
Lawson.
a WWE wrestler, but let's do it.
Yeah. Coming to the ring. Weighing in at 286 pounds.
Big dog.
The big dog. AJ Lawson.
Is he a heel?
Oh, for sure AJ Lawson's a heel. He screams heel. AJ Lawson coming out to the booze as he like bangs trash cans or something. Oh man. Positionless drafting is very strange to me. Well, here you go. We're gonna draft with some positions next up here, Nez. Positionless on the site, of course, being NBA and PGA. It is time to flip the calendar here to some baseball stuff on the stream. I'll ask you, man. I've only done 10 so far. I think something maybe 6, 10, 6. What did I do here? 13 already. Wow, okay. I'm a liar. Normally I'm always on the low end. I'm a liar here, dude. I've done 13 this evening. There are some stacks that I am really liking. I even went as far as to write them down on my phone for the good people here. Yeah. But yeah, it's a choose your own adventure slate because there's 13. There are 13 games on this slate. And there's not a whole lot of weather to be dealing with either. The weather is primarily in that Baltimore-Toronto game, but if it doesn't get called early, sounds like that one's going to play. So just macro thoughts on the slate, and then we can maybe do like an abbreviated stacks and players we like kind of thing.
Yeah, I know Roth really does not think that Baltimore plays. And New York, obviously same geographic area, looks nervous too. But it is Aaron Judge, so if he falls too far, you just got to take him. I'm fading the Orioles game. And the Yankees is pretty much just like Judge only for me there as far as weather goes.
Yeah, I like it, dude. I'm in agreement with you. I actually did do a cheeky Giants stack earlier. Just a good park to get right in if it does play. And, going against Stroman feels like a good spot to get right on there. So, that was like the only spot I might have disagreed with you. I have done one-off Baltimore once or twice just because you can still get a stack and then swap in. So I've done like Gunnar Henderson in the last round or something like that. But I agree with you, man. Like 2 spots that I'm kind of soft fading today as well because of the implications. I said I wasn't going to say it, but I had to. Because of the implications of the weather there. If we want to talk about some bullish weather, Nez, obviously those being on like the bad end of the spectrum, Sutter Health Park, until it tells us otherwise, feels like a glorious hitting environment for the Mets and Athletics today. And man, that Steinbrenner Field, when the wind's blowing out a little bit, we saw the Angels get loose in a big way versus a guy with like Zach Littell who has a fly ball problem. We could see something similar again today. Taj Bradley, a little bit better of a pitcher there, but he got knocked around in that yard recently as well. And Atlanta's ADPs are buried. So just a couple of things that I have been looking at there that I liked in terms of weather. Are you in agreement with those spots?
Yeah. Braves are real sneaky, which is normally not something you can say about the Atlanta Braves, but when you're dealing with a slate this massive, they're all 30 plus.
I came into today thinking, Nez, that the Nationals were going to be like the 30 plus cheeky left-handed stack that I could get to, and they turn out to be stone cold chalk. So I was like, good. I'd rather have the Braves.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's some good alpha from the chat here that they're going to harp on. Is Timmy Carr saying, what time did the game end last night? ATL Braves is saying they played extras last night. They didn't get in till really early. The nice thing is it's a decently short flight down to Tampa. But yeah, the extra late flight last night, absolutely, yeah. But it's a night game after a night game. Yeah, it's a little gross that we're dealing with the human element of guys taking a plane ride later than usual. It was basically 4.5, 5 hours later than usual after the rain delay, and then finishing up because I watched a little bit of the end of that game at like 10:30 my time, so that would have been like 1 a.m. Eastern time. But yeah, man, these guys deal with that. I think if anything, that means you could see some rest spots for some certain dudes. But it doesn't really get me shook. It's just a narrative.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not worried about the performance of these guys because of that. They're baseball players. These guys drink beer every night. That's fine, dude.
Some of them. They're not puck guys, man. They're not puck guys. Yeah. That's funny. Going back to hoops for 2 seconds here. Actually, to the golf, that's pretty funny that Canada's seen more Nick Taylor shots than anyone else watching. That's so true. I like it though. I like that the coverage skews to the local guys. Davion Mitchell tonight. We talked about it a little bit with the Heat stuff. Roll the stuff back. He's fine. He's fine, but he's an on-ball stopper whose role has been a little bit expanded recently. But with Wiggins coming back, don't love it all that much. And Max King saying we're sleeping on Benny Math. That's true. That's true. Benny Math could do exactly what we want TJ McConnell to do in 28 minutes. But I do think the minute ceiling for both Math and TJ McConnell are a little bit soft capped there. We talked about that a little bit. Okay, Nez. ATL, that's kind of fun. Let's talk about some of the other stacks that we are liking this evening. Mets are stone cold chalk, and rightfully so in my estimation. I like the Mets. I put Lindor on the cover there. I like the Mets. Yeah, how about you rattle a couple off for me and see if they're the same as mine?
Yeah, I mean, I said that while you took a break that Mets in Sacramento, just that Sacramento game in general, I really like.
Yeah.
So I have I've Soto 101 today. So
ooh, Soto. I like Lindor more. Lindor lefty killer.
Sure. Let's try to get Lindor to fall a little bit. I take Soto 101 right now. So a ton of Juan Soto. Really like that spot a lot. And then the Astros and Angels both I love tonight. And then low owned D-backs. Corbin Carroll's hell of a start to his season. He's like ADP 30. So he looks like a pretty nice pick right now.
Nice. Okay, cool. Low owned D-backs. That seems good. Who's pitching for Milwaukee? I didn't know off the top of my hand there. Jose Quintana getting his first start as a Brewer by the looks of it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, you don't necessarily love that it's a lefty, but
yeah. So Arizona righties definitely in play there. Lourdes Gurriel didn't play the other day, but he's a fucking lefty killer. So yeah, we have done the song and dance against Jose Quintana for years. He has a huge fly ball problem, and then all of a sudden, for a full calendar year and a half, it disappeared, and then all of a sudden, it came back again. So right-handed power would be what I would be searching for there. Like, this looks good for Gurriel. This looks for Eugenio Suarez, those kind of types. I imagine that means Randall Grichuk draws into the middle of that lineup today as well. Sounds like we got a postponement in the Baltimore game there, so you guys can go ahead and stop drafting those ones. Thank you, Grill Belichick, on that one. Yeah, I like your shouts there, Nez. The Arizona is a good scroll one there. I like the Rays today as well. Left-handed Rays in particularly. Give me Brandon Lau. Give me Jonathan Aranda. Yeah, I'm in on that.
Yeah, good park. We're just waiting for the park factors to really start hitting, and kind of saw it the other day. So I think you could see it today too as well.
Yeah, I think the chalk stuff, obviously Mets and A's for us. Like we both really like those. My scrolls were Rays, Braves. I think San Diego's a little bit underpriced. I expect Fernando Tatis Jr. based on all the comments and stuff to be back today. So I think San Diego's a little underpriced against Colorado, but Herman Marquez is their best starting pitcher, and it's righty-righty, so not the greatest spot in the world, especially with San Diego's ADPs a little bit up there. So yeah, I just want to get to a couple San Diego stacks for sure. But yeah, that was the gist of it in terms of like my favorite stacks, I think. Um yeah, I like right-handed Arizona. I like left-handed Tampa Bay. I like the Athletics the most, and then I like combinations of the Mets if I can get them. I think it's a nice Vientos spot tonight, which is something I've never said in my whole life.
I like Viances a lot too, man. I've been
Yeah.
taking him quite a bit. I still think he's a good player. These guys just not everybody starts out at the same speed here. Just knowing that there's guys I like and that they have maybe slower starts than others, it's totally fine with me.
Mhm.
So I like Vientos quite a bit.
Cool. Let's talk about the pitching, dude. I feel like everyone's letting Jacob deGrom fall. Mariners are better against right-handed pitching than they are at left-handed pitching. So this is, slightly better for the Mariners, but it's Jacob fucking deGrom in the best place to pitch on planet Earth. So I don't understand why everyone would prefer Nick Pivetta over him tonight. I think they're a close 1-2. But if we give Jacob deGrom 90 pitches this evening against this Mariners lineup that is slightly watered down too, because Polanco can't hit from one side of the plate right now, and Robles is out of the lineup for an extended period of time. I think it's a lot closer than people are flipping ADPs in the room. I think I like deGrom more than Pivetta straight up. But yeah, your thoughts on the top end of pitching?
I had Pivetta over deGrom too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of playing it from a ceiling standpoint, right? I'm not sure exactly that we could see deGrom go 7 or 8, and I think you could definitely see that if everything goes right with Pivetta.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as good of a park as Seattle, but a great park to pitch in San Diego.
Absolutely.
Colorado strikes out the most in the league right now. To me, it just seemed like a pretty nutted spot for Nick Pivetta. And on a massive slate like this, where like I'm scrolling for stacks anyways, I'm just gonna like probably take my shots at pitching early for the most part. Pivetta, I think, just looks really good today.
Cool. Yeah, respect it, dude. Of the next kind of like tier, that like Yamamoto, Nola, who's off to a little bit of a rocky start.
Yeah.
There, Robbie Ray, who looked amazing in spring and added a changeup to his repertoire, but has kind of fallen off once the regular season started. Bryce Miller, if you read some of Eno's stuff most recently, he was a full positive regression bounce back candidate right now because of how good the stuff has looked, but the results have been poor. Of that next kind of grouping that all have drafted every time in quotations ADPs, how would you rank those, Nez?
Ooh, I do like Bryce Miller against the Rangers here. Given the fact that the Rangers are dealing with some injuries themselves in a really good park. I like Bryce Miller. I'm not taking Robbie Ray. I'm worried about the weather, and it's the Yankees.
Okay.
I like Aaron Nola today against St. Louis. Cardinals don't strike out a ton, but I still think Aaron Nola is a good pitcher, even though the start has been iffy.
Yep.
Yamamoto, I don't think I love the Yamamoto today, man.
Okay.
Cubs are going pretty well. So
Yep.
I'm probably not going to do that. After that, man, I mean, like, it gets rocky. That's why I'm pushing up pitching, because I just think it's a really good slate for hitting. And pitching wise, not really interested in too many of these guys. So
yeah, I am very similar to you right now, Nez, except for I think I do prefer deGrom over Pivetta, but that's a flip the coin. I think they're like They stand out to me as the two best plays on the slate in terms of pitching.
Yeah.
Then I like Bryce as like, wait on pitching and just get Bryce. That seems fine. I will have very little Yamamoto and Nola unless they're fallers in rooms. I will have 0 Robbie Ray today. Some of that lineup's left-handed and some of it is righty-lefty split stuff that we can talk about in terms of Robbie Ray and, Aaron Judge actually having bad splits against lefties comparative to righties and blah, blah, blah. And, lefties versus that Yankees lineup should actually fare better. That being said, I'm not, hitching my wagon to Robbie Ray the way he's looked the first 2 starts there. I will have no Mitchell Parker this evening. I'm just not a Mitchell Parker guy in general. I know people love to target the Marlins and Marlins in that park. I would rather contrarian skinny stack Marlins today of the right-handed variety. That's just where I'm at. Like, give me a little Jonah Bride plus Derek Hill stack in the last 2 rounds than giving me Mitchell Parker today. I'm completely off Bradley because I'm on the Atlanta stuff. Now this is where it gets interesting to me. I think Reese Olson is a good click today. And I think maybe even on the other side of that game, David Festa's a good click. But I don't know how deep Festa's going to go in the ball game. Reese Olson feels like my favorite scroll the F down pitcher today.
Yeah, I like Reese Olson. I think that's a pretty good shout. I hadn't considered him, but he's been decent for some time, and going up against Minnesota seems to be a pretty good flow chart right now for pitchers. So I like that call. Who else did you mention here?
I just kind of waved the Ray Parker and Taj Bradley tier there. Bowen Francis won't be in our life because that game's gone now. Erod feels like not terrible.
Yeah. I'm not gonna have any of him if I can help it.
Yeah, Brewers just got hot in Coors, so right-handed Brewers against Erod is probably a good play too if you want to do like Jackson Churio and Willem Contreras as a stack.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Festa was the last one that I don't know how deep they're going to let Festa go, but Festa's like a big time prospect and could be. I'm not going to say he's the best pitcher on their staff right now because Pablo and Joe Ryan, that would be very disrespectful. But there's a good chance that if David Festa pitches well, he's the 3rd best pitcher on their team for the remainder of the season.
Yeah. I mean, the way that the Tigers have been going, though, it's not a great spot to go against these Tigers right now. Mm-hmm. But Festa has big time K upside. That's for sure. No doubting that.
Yeah. It's just whether they let him get to 90 pitches or not to matter, So yep. I'm a little more skittish on Festa mattering today because of the pitch threshold. That's why I've been taking Reese Olson instead, but I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Cool, man. We're not believers in Griffin Canning Resurgent Tour right now, or we are no longer respecters of JP Sears because of the ballpark.
Yeah, the ballpark is too scary. Way too scary.
Yeah. Agreed. Matthew Boyd against the Dodgers as double bubble leverage? No.
I love it. I'm not doing it, but I love it. Wouldn't it be so cool if Matthew Boyd was good again?
Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? Favorite? I'm not going to say favorite, but this is like a crazy scroll the F down contrarian stack. Right-handed White Sox today.
I was thinking about that.
Dude, Sean Newcomb has a problem. I would prefer it if this game was in Boston and not like 40 degrees in Chicago in a tough place to hit until it warms up. But dude, right-handed White Sox don't look terrible today. If you want to go like Lou Bob, who had a day off yesterday, if you want to go like him, Sosa, and Vaughn, or him and Vargas, or Michael A. Taylor's a fucking lefty killer that nobody ever talks about. I I think it's kind of sneaky if you want to get to the White Sox today.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too.
Woo-hoo-hoo, I love when we're on the same page, buddy. I love it. I
Got to
love it.
target Ruka, man. He's a huge flow chart right now, even in Chicago at this park with this weather.
Yeah, and then on a 13 gamer where nobody else is going to get there.
No,
Actually, one last thing I want to say about 13 gamers in general. 13 gamers, or let's call it the 10 plus category, opposed to like the 6 through 8 game category, is if you contrarian stack and you. Okay, let me phrase this as if you contrarian stack, everyone stacks the same 3 hitters, right? So right now, the Athletics are free, right? Not every room, but most of the rooms. And everyone goes Langoliers, Soderstrom, Rooker, or everyone goes Butler, Rooker, Shea Langoliers. Like, you know what I mean? That doesn't cover your basis because if you run the S words, you see if that run total gets achieved and if you break the slate with said stack, you are not going to be contrarian enough because you're duping the same 3-man over and over and over again that every other contrarian 3-man replicated. So I will say on 13 gamers, guys, because things are so much more obtainable than they are when you're fighting for stacks on other ones, you have to be way more disciplined in scrolling the fuck down.
It's true. It's true, man. Because like you said, the teams that you are going to be up against that have the same stacks as you're going to look really, really similar because it's free. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely free. So if you are doing a chalk stack, or a chalk contrarian stack, the oxymoron there.
Right. Yeah.
Do your Athletics with your White Sox. Lean into the fact that you are going off the board, and don't do it with one off Trout, one off Judge or something.
Yeah. Or if you go the one off Trout, one off Judge route, make your contrarian stack of the contrarian variety. Ooh. So make it Soderstrom plus Jacob Wilson plus JJ Bleday or something like that instead of making it, the 3 best hitters from the Athletics.
Exactly.
There we go. Nez, I think we could do like a rapid fire, like home runs picks or, favorite sticks from each game, or which would you prefer?
You want to do like maybe some home run calls.
All right, let's do home run calls or bats we think will perform well today. It doesn't necessarily have to be a home run. Let's say of the quote unquote chalkier variety, or I mean not of the chalkier variety, of the contrarian variety where they're kind of like ADP 25 plus kind of thing, or 20 plus, let's say.
20 plus. I think I'm going to start off chalk park, not a chalk pick. Vientos.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah,
I really like it. Vientos feels good. I think you can add Soderstrom to that list as well. Those will be ones that we both like, I think. I'll add left-handed Tampa Bay to it in Brandon Lau and Jonathan Aranda.
Yeah.
What else comes to mind?
Isak today.
Ooh, okay. That's definitely going to be contrarian. Talk me through the Isak one.
He's at home with the Crawford boxes. I don't know who this dude is for the Angels pitching.
Jack Kunakowicz or Kunakowicz or something like that. He's pitched once already this year, and I think he got hit decently hard, if memory serves.
That's what I thought.
No, he's pitched well twice. Nothing like crazy from like a fantasy output standpoint, but 6 innings with 4 Ks against the White Sox. And 5 innings, 4 Ks against Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah. He gave up 3 runs in each of them, but yeah.
He's about to give up 100 runs.
I respect it. I respect it. Here's my super equivalent of Gavin Sheets. Crazy fucking scroll that nobody else is gonna do. Derek Hill. Derek Hill spot today. What do you think about
Love
that?
it. That's fun. Derek Hill can play.
Yeah, man. Former prospect. He can run. He can hit. He has the handedness advantage. He's all right. Yeah. Anybody else you want to throw on the list that is of the scrolly variety here?
Kerry Bonds.
Oh, good one. Kerry Bonds, hits over 300 against right-handed pitching. Yeah, Minnesota, not a great place for power, but better for left-handed power than right-handed power. Yeah, and he gets as much as you want to talk up Festa, he's still a rookie making his, I don't think it's his big league debut because I think he had a couple at the end of last year, but he's making his season debut in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right-handed Milwaukee feels good, like the William Contreras plus Jackson Churio, but they get drafted a good amount. We talked about Atlanta. You talked about Arizona, in particular, right-handed Arizona. Yeah, I think we've covered a decent amount here. We could definitely build out a cheeky little pick'em with this sort of thing. But I do kind of like this Detroit. Yeah, talk out of both sides of your mouth. A little Detroit 2-man on the outfield, as Ben is suggesting here. How far down is Riley?
Yeah, these big slates, man, they're crazy.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of good hitters that are really deep. We could definitely build teams with like only, really deep guys, right?
Yeah, sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. I'm seeing, wow, this is what a scroll. What a scroll from Paid. Eric Wagaman going to be hitting 4th today for the Marlins. Wow. Eric Wagaman has a scroll the F down. Wow. Now the guys are doing work out here. Love that. I don't know. Mike Yastrzemski leading off against Marcus Stroman today. You could do worse. We talked about the White Sox stuff. I think the chalk stacks, Boston, Mets, Nationals, Yankees, I think they're all fine. I think they're all good. I think Mets are my favorite of that bunch, and Nationals, just being the Nationals, would be the least favorite of that bunch. But yeah, that all.
How chalk are the Nationals? I didn't see.
Oh, they get drafted every single time. They're right in the middle of ADP here. They're right. James Wood is 9 and CJ Abrams is 22. I thought they were going to be a little sneaky today. That's a terrible place to hit. It's a terrible place to hit. I don't know how you go chalk Nationals today instead of just going with the Athletics.
And I don't even think Edward Cabrera is like that bad.
Edward Cabrera wasn't listed as the starting pitcher yesterday, and then they brought him back up and went with Edward Cabrera today. I think it was someone shittier yesterday. I think that's the issue here. When the ADP got set, they were anticipating someone shittier pitching. Because like Cabrera has the ability to walk the world.
More sense.
Yeah. Cabrera has the ability to walk the world, but he also has the ability to strike out 9 today or strike out 10 today on like 85 pitches. Like that, Cabrera was like a big time prospect once upon a time.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I'm with you. That feels like the easiest fade of the day. They're fun. We love the Nationals around here, especially against righties. the Nationals are super fun, but if they're going to be chalk, that's not part of the fun. It's not fun at all anymore.
Yeah, no, fully agree with you there. I think Jordan as an underpriced pick to click. Like anytime you can just get to Jordan when nobody else is getting to Jordan. I mean, people are getting to Jordan. That was misphrased, but like he's falling in rooms to like the 4th round. Just take Jordan as a one-off as well.
Love Jordan today.
All right, Nez. Let's do a draft or two and then call it a show.
Let's do it.
I was about to say draft number 20 for me, but it definitely isn't 20 because I think it was 144 max or something like that today. So probably draft 14.
Yeah, I need to get in here and do some more. Shilly.
Shilly is having a really nice start to the baseball year. Ben, Bucks are not on the main slate here. Only 13 games, not 15. The early games, Royals and Guardians and Pirates and Reds are not on the slate. And then Baltimore and Blue Jays has been rained out. So a 13er is now a 12. So we're down to 12 games on the main slate here. First draft of the day, bullshit. This guy's been collecting all my money all season long. First draft of the day, my ass, Shilly.
Wow.
This guy's probably got 400 in the chamber already. Every contest already full. Some guys just run pure, eh, Nez? First draft of the day, 101. Must be nice.
That's what happens, man. This dude's on fire.
Oh man,
I'm pretty sad. The Pirates are on Apple TV today, and that alone sucks. And Cruz got hit in the hand, and he's missed like the last like 2 games. So,
damn, dude, that sucks. That Apple TV broadcast, not for me, dog. That's gonna be a no for me.
Yeah, that always sucks.
Des, you said Soto's your 101 today. Let's take Soto.
Yeah. You just got to run Soto, man.
All right, let's do it. Lefty, not a huge concern for a hitter of one Soto's magnitude. Only 1 home run this year, but if you're looking for a get right spot, it is that Sutter Health Park.
Yeah, it could be small sample, but I just think this park is just exceeding our expectations and then some. Love JP Sears, but he's in over his head tonight.
I agree with you, sir. I agree with you.
More than likely, he's in trouble.
Chris doing the new normal there by taking Pivetta over DeGrom. I'm clearly on an island. Both me and no one else prefers DeGrom over Pivetta tonight. That's where I'm at. Let's go ahead and stack up Pete Alonso here, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be silly to make our bet on Soto and then not take Alonso behind it, because if it's a one-off you need from the Mets game this evening, it's not going to be me. Not going to be me.
Yeah, you gotta do that stack. Pete Alonso has been on fire to start the season. In this park, man, he feels like a great pick. I'm curious what his home run multiplier is actually for today. I haven't checked in the pick'em lobby.
Right. We can take a little look in a second here. Shilly is doing exactly what we're doing right here. Falco was listening to the show and takes Corbin Carroll there. So some of the Arizona stuff. Nez, we're back on the clock here. I would preach a potential right-handed Milwaukee combo here. I would preach a Arizona right-handed combo as well. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Let's do the Arizona. Sorry, the fucking Churio, the Brewers. Sorry, because they're up against Arizona. Like, my brain wouldn't let me say what I was trying to say.
Let's do Churio here. Imagine Rhys Hoskins, who's off to a scuffling start of the year here, will draw back into the starting lineup today as well. Also, a good reminder that right-handed power plays better in Arizona than left-handed power, and there's a whole lot of it in that ball game between Churio, Hoskins, uh, Willem Contreras, Lourdes Gurriel, Eugenio Suarez. That Arizona Milwaukee game is a game that could play either way because there's decent left-handed, like there's professional ass left-handed pitching that can keep the ball on the ground there, but there's also big time right-handed, big beefy baseball boy power in both lineups as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead and add Willem Contreras to this, and then we can decide on who we want to add as a last one. If we want to add a one-off, or if we want to go ahead and stack one of these teams here. Vientos is already gone.
We can do a scrolly stack.
A what? Sorry?
A little scrolly stack.
Ooh, well, we only got one spot left, so it'd have to stack with one of those two teams.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, absolutely. A scrolly tack on to our scrolly stack.
That's what I'm saying. There you go. You might love it, you might hate it. I don't know.
Let me guess who you're gonna tell me, and then we'll see if I love it or I hate it.
All right.
Okay. Based on the way in which you worded that, I think you're gonna ask me to add Brandon Nimmo to this team.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Who do you want me to add?
Joey Ortiz.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Joey Ortiz, right-handed power there. Probably played shortstop today. Had a big game there that won. I think it was Shilly who won him some money on the Colorado slate on Wednesday there. So yeah, let's do it. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy to get to when if we think Soto plus Alonso is going to be decently owned, but also a little bit hard to obtain. And then we think that the Churio stuff plus Willem Contreras is going to be owned at a high frequency. The way in which we get different is a scroll the F down with Joey Ortiz, and then a scroll the F down at the pitcher, or a pitcher that we think could break the slate.
You know what is interesting about this National Series?
Mm-hmm.
The Marlins, on their entire roster, have one left-handed pitcher. A reliever. Only one lefty reliever.
Yep.
That's not good against the Nationals team that is literally designed to crush right-handed pitching and only crush right-handed pitching. That's it.
That's a great point. That is a great point. Do you like Nola more than this grouping, or do you want to take who do you like?
I think Nola, but yeah.
I'm good with it. Yeah, a little rough start to the season, but St. Louis, some of their bats have a propensity to strike out. I haven't looked at the lineup yet for St. Louis, but Jordan Walker hitting second today. That's bullish for the Bags.
Cheeky.
That's bullish. Yeah. But obviously without Ivan Herrera and without who's the other guy? Nolan Gorman right now. You lose some power sticks, but you also lose some strikeouts in that lineup. So the Nola matchup is, debatable today. Debatable, let's say it that. But he's probably the fourth best pitcher on the slate and someone we should consider in that spot. Ant-Man chiming in with some BVP data for us.
Oh,
a 1.7 OPS for Rhys Hoskins versus Erod. Wow. First dinger of the season happens today. I respect it. I'll get you Mr. Good Boys in the chat here. Nez, what do you say we end with a pick'em here and call it a show here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. I think we could have some fun with the home run stuff. If we want to do one or two of the home run, just do some two-man home run calls. I like some of those names that we threw out earlier. If we wanted to do Soderstrom and someone like that, or yeah, what are you thinking?
Yeah, let's take a look at the athletics here. Try to put something together.
I got 100 and 5-pound lap dog right now. Get out of here, boy. Oh, there we go. All right, athletics. All right, we gotta keep typing. What's going on here? Can only go one by one. Soderstrom home run.
Man, that looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, feels good. Griffin Canning, we used to call him a gas can before spring training. It's only been 2 starts. I'm good with Soderstrom tonight, aka Soder Strong.
Yeah, I can't believe that that's what it. I would think that multiplier would be a lot lower.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Who else do you like? Let's add one more to this, and then do like 1 or 2 of these 2-man home run ones because it's just fun.
Yeah, let's do. Jeez, my buddy over here is farting like crazy. Sodi, I like Lau.
That's a little 27x right there. Do one of those bad boys.
Yeah. Let me play along at home here.
Let's do another one that's similar to that. Who were some of the other home run calls that we liked? We do the Rhys Hoskins one. That's kind of fun.
What's Hoskins. That at? Rhys is so like polarizing.
He is. Hoskins. Only 2.56, so not amazing. What about Gurriel?
What's that?
Gurriel 4.07. That's fun.
Come here, buddy. Come here. Yeah, put that in the hot.
No one gives you the heads up on how much babies fart. That's so good.
Dude, this guy's a maniac.
I want to see what Suarez is at. 3.1. Lourdes Gurriel's at 4. Who else did we like? We said we liked Brandon Lau. We said you liked Isak.
I do like Isak.
Let's see what Isak's at. 4.73. Put Lourdes Gurriel and Isak together. We're basically paying for BBM.
Holy shit.
I mean, not actually, but you know.
Half of it. Almost half.
Put that one in there. Yeah, I'm glad that Ant-Man is sharing in the chat that the Hoskins one, it's a good spot, but it's not. You know what that pick'em on Hoskins tells me? That he should be getting drafted a little bit more frequently. If he's only a 2.56, he should be getting drafted a little more frequently. It doesn't mean that we should play it in the pick'em lobby. Do
you want to do one more with me here?
Yeah.
This isn't home runs.
Okay.
Pull up Nick Pivetta. Let's go Nick Pivetta, and we're gonna. This is we're shooting the moon here, John.
Yep.
Just scroll all the way with Nick Pivetta, dude. All the way.
9.5 Ks? 10.5 Ks.
10 or 9.
Okay, 10.5 Ks for Nick Pivetta. He just strikes fucking everyone out.
And then we can do one of these 2 options here to pair him with. Griffin Canning. Because Griffin Canning, we're worried about him getting blown up, but I do think he's maybe turning a different leaf in New York.
Yeah, no hedging. I picked the other one. No hedging. I picked the other one.
Do Taj Bradley slide.
Oh, Taj Bradley on the Ks?
Yeah, 8.5.
Okay. I mean, like, he could still get hit and then still strike out guys because that is a good lineup to strike out. Okay. We slid that one up 25. This whole program today, guys, like, this is like not financial advice ones. These are not like the ones that like you're going to see screenshots of everyone getting 4Xers and like, hey, look at me. I turned $50 into 200. This is like your put 10 on it and cook and we pay for BBM type shit. Yeah, Chris, Nick Pavetta, good. Victoria Boy, love it. Mello loves it too. Mello's cooking.
That's why he's crying. He loves it so much that he's crying.
All right, Nez. Let's tie a bow on it there. Guys, there's still like 200 of you guys hanging out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, notification bell, all that fun stuff for us, please and thank you. If you've made it this far, you surely love this platform or at least a little bit of this content. So please and thank you. Nez, I got to there's only one way to tie a bow on this show. We're going to need one last glimpse at Mello here while I read off everything that Mello has obtained for us today. Shout out to my guy, Car Park, $69.50 there with, or $69.99. Support Blue Collar, Car Park right there, the Troll Clothing Co. There you go. Shout out to our guy, AMAC, dropping by with the 50 bomb. Shout out to our guy Spike 9771 dropping by with the 50 bomb. Austin dropping by with 10, and Eggers dropping by with 8, and Jared dropping by with $2 as well. Mad respect to you guys. Thank you so much. Just little shit like that, not necessary, but incredibly generous and incredibly appreciated because this community means so much to us. And we love doing this, and that stuff helps us in a big way and shows how much we're valued as well. So appreciate you guys so much there. Nez, you and Mello, any parting words for the people?
No, I mean, you're going to see me in some of these baseball lobbies, but I think a nap is in my future for sure. So
for both of you, some farts
hopefully,
and some naps.
Hopefully, this guy sleeps.
All right, Mr. Good Boy, it is time to go to the park. Everybody's favorite time on the show. The end. Peace. Appreciate you guys.